Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Utano Podcast. This is the Utano Prince Sama fan podcast, hosted by me, your girl, Mia Fran. But yeah, welcome back. It's me, Mia Fran, again. I forgot to do my intro the way I usually do. It's like, hi, everybody. It's me, Mia Fran, again. Welcome back to my channel, and welcome back to Utano Podcast. This is episode 6. We have 6 episodes already. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I keep hitting the desk. We have 6 episodes already now, guys. This is episode 6. I'm so happy. I'm so glad that we were able, as a community, as a fandom, to get together and make this possible. I mean, it's really just me just making it and people being interested in watching it and being in it and listening to it. But I really appreciate all of the love, all of the support, and all of the excitement and wanting to be on the show. So today we have a really interesting topic at hand. Well, we've got several topics, but the main topic that we're going to be talking about first and foremost is the Utapri Wiki. Now, I know everybody, we all like different things, right? And most everything, if not everything, fandom-wise, has a wiki page, like a Wikipedia page, but also like a fan wiki. And so we're going to be talking about the fan wiki, and I have head moderator here, Pam, as well as another moderator, Ruby, here to tell us a little bit more about how they run the Utapri Wiki and, just the cool things that go into it. I've never run a wiki before. I don't think I would have the time to do that, so I applaud you both for stepping in and taking over running the wiki. So how about you introduce yourselves? You go ahead and unmute and say hello.
Hello. I'm Pam. I have gone by various fandom nicknames over the past, God knows how long I've been involved in fandom, but I just go by Pam now because that's my name and it's the easiest.
And hey guys, I'm Ruby, but my real name is Maya. I've been in Utapri for more than 10 years and couldn't imagine my life without it.
I feel like all of us here, I can't imagine what my life would be like without Utapri. What would I be doing? Where would I be?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, so when I got into Utapri, it was just after I was in a car accident. My arm was broken. And I was starting to recover from that, although my car was totaled and ended up having to get a new one. And I stumbled across Shining Live and was like, okay, this is fun. This will actually help me get my dexterity back with my hand, because it was my dominant arm that got broken. And after a while, it was like, okay, well, this is really neat. I love this music. I want to find more of it. There's got to be something. And that was sort of my gateway into stumbling across the wiki and the anime and, kind of going backwards into the whole thing. So that was 2018. And yeah, this is definitely one of my long haul fandoms now.
Same.
Yeah.
Utapri's I wouldn't like certain things, honestly, if I didn't get into Utapri first.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I wouldn't know the Seiyu or anything, and I wouldn't be interested in hearing them and other stuff if I didn't like Utapri.
Exactly. So yeah, this was watching the anime, and because I'd randomly chosen Tokyo as my favorite, honestly, completely just I kind of vaguely recognized Mamo's name, and I was like, okay, I choose him. He looks good. And then, fell in love with him, obviously. And then it was okay, then I realized that he sang the opening themes, and I went off looking for, I remember I was looking for Shine specifically, and I found the video and went, this was not the visual I was expecting. And from
the music video?
Yeah,
Shine is my favorite opening. Oh my god, I love it.
You know what? I think Shine is also my favorite opening.
Honestly, it's such a good song. It's presented so well. The visuals in the opening are so good.
I really liked that video. He shot that in LA.
He did, yeah.
Oh.
And I love that, it's they're goofing off and having fun and but it was 100
jump out of
degrees from
what
I
a hot air balloon or a plane or whatever. That's the coolest part. They jump. Excuse me. They jump out of a plane. That's the precursor to them jumping out of and flying in the air in Star Tours.
I know, yeah.
Right.
I think it is the best opening for sure. It's my favorite.
It really suits everything very well. And yeah, so then from there I tumbled down the Say You rabbit hole and have watched a lot more things than I would have. And every now and then every time I start a show, I'm like, okay, let's see who's in this because that'll influence whether I keep it going or not. And like watching JoJo's was like, oh my God, especially part 4. There's so many Utapri people in JoJo's. It's ridiculous. I absolutely love it. I just make a list after a while.
Right. Yeah, because like for me, like my first music anime was K-On, but my first like reverse harem was Ouran High School Host Club. And literally when it's like recommended with Utapri, I'm like, okay, this has music and it's a reverse harem. Okay, let's check it out. Oh man!
And then it turns out that Mamo is Tamaki.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I remember
of course I watched the dub first, and I decided to watch the Japanese dub like a year later. I was like, the Japanese dub. I'm just like, this guy sounds familiar.
I remember I had also loved Ouran, and I was like, oh my God, I love reverse harems. So wow, they make harems for me. Wow.
Thank you.
So I was like, okay, like, and I looked up like a list of like other reverse harems, and Utapri was on there. And I remember like seeing that and like forgetting about it. Like I remember like writing it down on like an old iPod or something in like my notes or something before I had an iPhone. And being like, oh, okay, I'll look that up later. And then I never did. And then I saw a video. I've said this story before on the podcast, but I'll say it again for people who haven't heard it. But yeah, so then I don't remember what anime YouTuber it was. It was an anime video on YouTube like years ago. And they mentioned like Utapri, and they showed the characters in like a shot of the video and kind of talked about the plot. And I was like, wait, I recognize that title. I've heard that before. And then I was like, wait, that's the one that I wrote down on my old iPod and I couldn't remember the title. So then I looked it up, and this was late 2016. Again, I've told the story before, how I got into Utapri. Late 2016, season 4 had like just finished airing, like all the episodes. So I binged all 4 seasons of Utapri in like 2 days.
Yeah.
Because it was during winter break when I was still in college and I had nothing to do. I would just lie in my old bed, not this bed. Didn't have homework, didn't have any schoolwork, whatever. I just laid in bed during my winter break, like a month-long break, and just did nothing. Just watched stuff on my phone. And I watched Utapri all on my phone for the very first time, and I cried several times, and I fell in love, and here I am now. And I wouldn't be here, I wouldn't have some of the friends that I do have if it weren't for Utapri. Like,
definitely,
like a lot of my YouTube friends and stuff, we all became friends because we all liked Utapri. So,
I've made a lot of friends in the Discord server. I don't tend to like get involved in like fandom on Twitter, or I don't tend to like engage with people that way. But then they, Raz and Bellin and Val started the Discord server in January of 2020, and it was like, oh, this is great. They're going to regret letting me in here. And now I'm a mod, so that obviously turned out well. But like I've made really great connections with the people in there, and it's been such a fun experience. We joke that I'm married to Samira and Snail, and we've recently expanded because I think we got Larissa and Abel in there somehow. I can't remember how that happened.
Yeah,
so
we
have a big group marriage on there now. But I got to meet Samira at a FurryCon in Chicago, and she gives the best hugs, by the way. So it's like getting to actually make these connections and then meet people for real is it's like the true like meaning of fandom to me is like not yes about the subject matter, absolutely, but the people that we meet are just the most important to me.
Yeah, everybody I've met because of Utapri in the fandom, like whether it's like in the Discord server, which if you guys haven't joined the South Gakuen Discord server, you should. It's pretty cool. I'm not like on there all the time. I usually just post when I'm gonna like.
We love you too, Megan.
Go live or whatever. But it's a very nice environment. I enjoy it a lot.
It is super chill. we've very rarely, if ever, had problems, and everybody is just like fun. And then we started doing like the streams to, have a little bit more engagement. So we're like rewatching the anime and things like that. And it's like, this is everybody gets to participate and remember why we love all this stuff so much. So
yeah,
just and then you can all come in here and talk.
Yeah,
you want.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just we're watching the anime and then rewatching the stage plays and then the singing lives.
Tomorrow
I just love seeing like the new people's reaction when they're watching the stage.
Oh my god, I know.
At the same time. So it's just like, guys, you haven't lived until you watch them. They're amazing.
So like, I found the first live on YouTube once.
Yep.
It was on there for 5 shining minutes. And I watched it and I was like, oh my God, these guys are like singing the songs and they're like into it and they love what they're doing. And so then I started seeking those out and like, buying them and everything. And so now getting to share those with a whole group of people who have never been able to see the lives. We've been going through those and we've been going through the Gekidan and watching like the, the movies and everything. It's like, we get to share that joy, and that's so much fun. Like having people like flipping out in the comments because of something that's happening during the live is like the best.
It is.
It's always fun. I really gotta go in there when y'all are watching. Not y'all, but when the server. I'm part of the server. I'm part of the y'all.
You're part of us.
Yeah, you're one of us.
Once it gets to what has the 5th and 6th lives happened yet?
I showed the 5th last week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next week
6th, because the 6th is my favorite.
I know.
I'm gonna be screaming in the comments.
Before, because I'm going in date order. So when they were performed, so the next week is NLE. And then 2 weeks from that is 6th stage. So, because Mimi and I are trading off on streaming. So we just had 5th stage. Then tomorrow is Polaris with the encore stream of Pirates, also woo. And then next week is Live Evolution.
Yeah.
And then I can't remember what Gekidan Shining is going to be after Polaris. Again, blanking.
Wait a minute. Are we finished after Polaris?
Well, she's going backwards through the sequence, so maybe it'll be like 1st gen. But then after that, but all the dates are always up in the calendar, so you can always check that to see when what is showing.
Very true, Megan. Very true.
Yeah, 6 is. I was showing them to Rai, my friend who I got into this via Suave, and he lost his mind during 6th. During Next Door, he was not okay.
Stage so much,
dude.
It's like
Daydream and Night Dream. And
oh my god, yes. Oh my, that made
Night
me
Dream,
love Dream so much. That performance, I love that song so much. Like,
and then like when Heavens Show Up,
yes,
Mighty Aura, and oh my god, all the duet songs.
Ooh, all the duets are so good.
The duets were so good.
And then the crying at the end, which I can never.
I remember the first time I watched it, I was also crying. I was also crying at the end. I had to pause several times, being like,
yeah.
"Oh my god, you're crying! No, I'm
like
crying."
They're all fine, and Mama losing it. That was too much for me.
I know when Mama had to wonder right when Mom started crying and he couldn't sing his
and
he's so broken he can't even.
That's when I lost it again. I had to pause because
like it just shows you like how much like Utapri like even affects the Seiyu. It's just like they're so into it that like you cry tears of like happiness, but also it's like overwhelming. So it's
they're into it as much as we are.
Yes,
if not more. Sometimes I think like they are like the ultra fans beyond us even.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where like you can tell they just feel very proud and honored to be a part of it. So that's also why the Six Live is my favorite, because I don't want to say I love the crying at the end, but it
affects you.
It's a part that, like, when I rewatch the Six Live and I get to when I know it's gonna happen, I'm like, okay, I have to like prepare myself.
Yeah.
Like I've been having fun watching the whole thing up to this point. Now I have to prepare myself to, like, okay, I can't speak Japanese, but like I kind of know what they're talking about, and so it's just like I kind of have to just, like, you know.
You have to prepare yourself.
I'm so grateful that people made fan subs.
Yes.
Yeah, even though we don't really have one for the second one's kind of incomplete, but they've really done a great job with especially the last few, and we don't have one for 7th yet, but I'm hoping that eventually that'll happen too.
I really need to watch 6 Live with fan subs, because a lot of the time I'm like, I want to know what the hell they're talking about.
Yeah,
I laugh too.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't watch it without. I mean, it really makes the experience that much better. But
yeah, exactly.
Remind me afterwards, and I will get them for you.
Yeah,
please, I would love to. Even if I can't for some reason participate in the stream, I want to watch it on my own and cry alone.
Yeah,
I'll know what they're talking about at the end.
Because like when you watch it raw, you're just, oh wow, we're so happy to see it.
Yeah.
And then you find the fan subs, and you're like, okay, there's no way I can watch it without them anymore.
Exactly.
Well, even so, we were watching the first live, which the only subs I did a sub with all the lyrics, just basically to practice doing subtitling. And I don't have any translations for any of the spoken bits, except for like the most simple, let's go kind of thing. But so when we were watching it in the server, and Dom was like, "Oh, they're looking to see if Shining is backstage," and I was like, "Wait, that's what they're doing?" The first time I had any clue what any of the MC corner stuff was about. I'm like, we need these.
Because sometimes it's like, oh man, they're having like a funny conversation. Like clearly, the audience thinks it's hilarious.
I sure wish I knew what they were saying.
I really want to laugh at this, but I don't know what they're talking about. And like sometimes you can kind of understand, just like within the context of like body language or like.
You catch a foreign word here and there.
Like a foreign word, or it sounds like an English word or something. Or like I recognize the phrase maybe in Japanese, but it's not like.
Or like you can tell they're teasing Shimono because that's obvious, always obvious.
I can tell that they're teasing him because he's like old or whatever for the millionth time.
He's going oi in the background.
It's Utapri, like, look what it is bringing us all together. And is I hope I'm excited to like participate in that one of these days. It's just like I need time, man. I'm so busy. I'm like so busy now that like this is my fun time. Doing this is I do this for fun. I'm not getting paid or anything. Obviously, I don't pay myself. This is just me doing it for fun. So. With all that said, let's go into talking about the wiki. So, Pam, how did you get into being the moderator for the wiki? Like,
technically, I'm the administrator. I'm like the head bureaucrat.
Yes.
Yep.
So what had happened was, basically, so I mentioned, how I got into Shining Live first, and then kind of was looking for where the music was and all that. And I found the wiki at some point, and it was stalled out at 2015. I think they had like the pages for the duet songs, but they didn't have any lyrics or anything like that. Or I don't even know if they might have just had the pages for the CDs and not the individual songs at some point. And I still don't know, and I probably will never know what happened. The original admins just, quit, which is totally fair. That happens. But it's since that time, and this was 2018 or maybe 2019 at that point when I came across it, it was just, not in use at all. Well, it was still there because they don't ever take stuff down. And I was like, okay, so this is kind of a good resource, but it's not going to give me everything I need. And I remember I actually was trying to just make a list of all the songs which if you know how many songs there are, that is not an easy task. And I was using a little desktop wiki software called Zim, like Invader Zim. And but that still, I wasn't finding everything I needed. And so I started tentatively making edits at one point because I noticed there was an issue with I think it was one of the audition song pages. There was Suabe's name was linked wrong or colored wrong or something like that. And it was like, well, nobody's going to be mad if I do this because nobody's maintaining this thing. So then I started finding other things that were wrong. And at first it was just little coding things here and there, because I've made my own wiki on my webpage in the past, and the code is not, the code is the same across the board. So it was not an issue to, apply that knowledge. And then I started finding more things that were wrong. And there were a lot of, especially with a lot of the, like the CD pages that will have the list of like all the songs on the CD. There would be these weird glitches where all of the information repeated like multiple times down the page. And so it's like, okay, well, all that extra stuff has to come out. I don't know why that's in there. And then I would find something else that was wrong. And then I would find something else that was wrong. And it was like, just one thing led to another. And I think, so then I got into the Discord server, and I remember I was like, we were talking about it at one point, and somebody said, you should have just applied to take it over. And I was like, yeah, I guess I could do that.
How does that work?
So there's fandom.com, which has a lot of issues that I won't get into here, but basically they own all of the wiki code and the content. So if you want to take over a wiki that has been abandoned, you have a form that you have to fill out on the main site, which is just basically like, what's your name, how long you've been working on this wiki, how many edits have you made. And in June of 2020, I had made over 500 edits already.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I had been on a lot. I was in that hyper-focused, obsessed mode that was like, I must fix everything. I must get it all correct.
I must learn and fix everything.
Yeah. And so I finally, I filled out the thing. Like 5 minutes later, I got this email said, you've been approved. And I went, oh, shit. Oh shit! That means
I was so surprised when you got the email. I'm just like, oh wow, already?
You're just like, okay, take it over.
It was so fast. It was.
Can I say though? Every time, even if it's not the Utapri Wiki, if it's just a fan wiki for anything, I try not to open those pages on my computer because it always makes my computer freeze.
I think they have it loaded down with like ad stuff.
And then I have to restart my computer. So now, if I ever look anything up and I'm like, oh, I should look up the fandom wiki for this thing, I do it on my phone because I know it's not going to make my phone freeze.
Well, I have like ad blockers out the wazoo. Well, not that bad, but like I basically use, I think uBlock Origin now that is fantastic so I don't have to see any of it because the fandom.com likes to load down the pages with a lot of garbage, and I don't have any time for that. So it is definitely an issue because it's like they just want to make money now. They don't really care. And I've honestly considered migrating the wiki to a host that is less like bad about all that stuff. But that's something for when I actually have some energy, which is not right now. But so I had been working on it. And so I got the email back that I was, the administrator, and I was like, okay, so does anybody want to help me with this? And I want to say Ruby was like the first person to.
I was.
Yeah. I was like, okay, I'm going to have to make a Discord for this. And I got a few volunteers. Ruby was the first. We had Val from the server. We had Urbane Figment and Dom, Lady Lancer, and several other people who were like, yeah, we'll help out. One person, Luna, basically made all of the new headers, like for the graphics for the main page, like where it says news and characters and things like that. Val completely overhauled the front page, which was great because it really did kind of look just old and not exciting or anything. And we decided to add a calendar with the month's events every month. We have the tweets from Ohio News because we're We have Shining Wonderland, which is the translation wiki, as a partner, and basically just kind of tried to brush it up and make it look a bit nicer and not so outdated. So we had a lot of everybody kind of pitched in and found stuff to do. Ruby, you were really helpful with like adding the preview videos and stuff like that on a lot of pages.
Yeah.
But yeah, so essentially just continued what I had been doing, but we made sure that we had a team of several people who are willing to, you know, even if it was just like, oh, you know, I noticed there was a spelling error on this page. And then we've got Rain, who is great with the translations, and Helu has also been helping out with that recently. So all we're trying to do is keep up with like what's currently coming out now, because like I said, since nothing had been added since 2015, we had to do song pages for all of the duet songs from Maju Love Legend Star. And of course, the movie, then Star Shores, and everything else has come out that's like, you know, even if there's just a little bit of information about it, just at least, you know, we know like who wrote the songs or whatever. So we're gradually just getting it all up to speed, and that has taken quite a while, but I honestly am really proud of like what everybody's done with it.
I know, now that you mentioned it, I'm like, oh my gosh, all the April Fool's stuff for tomorrow, like.
Well, probably what we're going to do is I maybe have, because there hasn't been a lot of, in the past there's like the visual stuff, there was like the Veggie Print stuff and the Ensemble Stars collab, that like the pictures, that's one thing, you know, we can add those to the gallery, but I don't want to add the videos for obvious reasons. But the chibis from the Heaven's Supermarket thing are so heckin' cute. I'm like, we're going to archive them in some way. I'm not quite sure right now, but if nothing else, we haven't really been mentioning like the April Fool's events, but thank you, Megan. I appreciate that. We're at least, you know, trying to make sure that the big stuff is noted. So like when new news gets announced, like the birthday CD is coming out with all the songs from that.
I'm excited for that.
Me too. Even though you know, it was very nice to have all the songs actually be able to be purchased on iTunes Global, which was like I'm still like in shock that they unbent enough to do that. But to have them all in one place, and then to have there's one additional song that is new just to that. So, and yeah, the visuals for that were really gorgeous. I really feel like they kind of messed up how they handled the merch for that, but whatever they want to do, it's fine.
It's their thing.
Yeah. So yeah, we one of the things we were talking about before the podcast was like some of the weird stuff that we saw as we were going through and trying to clean out, because it hadn't been maintained, so nobody was like paying attention to if someone wanted to add their personal self-insert character or OC or whatever, nobody was dealing with any of that, so we had to take a few odd little things like that down.
This is why you should get paid for this.
Honestly, it was like,
I mean, it's really right.
It's fascinating going through and like uncovering what people have done with it. It's almost like archaeology in a way. The thing
because it'll tell you, right? I assume it tells you when someone had made a change, even like years ago.
Well, yeah. So, like, anytime anybody makes a change on a page that you've edited, unless you specifically say, I don't want to see changes to this, I'll get an email, which was actually how I found out that Shining Live English was being shut down. Because somebody couldn't wait to get on that page and be like, the servers are being shut down. And I'm like, that's the email I woke up to in the morning. That's how I found out about it. I'm still bitter about that. But yes, you can see history.
We're all mad about that. I'm still fucking mad
so
about
like,
that.
I want to show you. I'm going to share my screen in a second, but I want to pull up the page first. The one that I always talk about is Kazuna. and Ruby knows why. I'm gonna go to the history and bring that up. So Well, first I'll show you what it looks like now, because there's actually, a page for it. So
much better than it did before.
Let me share my screen. Screen sharing, yes. I get it. I should have checked all this stuff first. Yes, please share my screen. There it is.
I'll have to add it once it pops up here at the bottom. There we go.
Okay, hopefully. All right. So the Kazuna page is pretty standard. Because this was on the CD that came out with Evolution Eve, or I'm sorry, Godstar. I'm looking right at the thing. So if you come over here, you can click on the history, and it will show you all the revisions that were made. We had somebody
make it full screen so we can see.
Okay, yeah, we had somebody come through and add the interlanguage link, which basically links to the French version of the website for some reason. There's a French wiki for this, and I don't know why they did that, but whatever. But this will show you what the Kazuna page originally looked like. Somebody just created the page and put the song, please. I need the song. I'm like,
blushy face.
Hello.
I remember just going, how do you think that is going to get you the song any faster? And they did this in 2016. I'm like, so then when I actually was able to make the page, it was 2020. I'm like, I hope waiting 4 years was worth it, because my God. So that's what not to do when you want some information is you don't go to a wiki and you make the page and then just hope that someone will eventually respond. The other one that makes me laugh is Evolution Eve, because for some reason, and this one has been through quite a bit, but for some reason when somebody first made the page, all they did was copy in the kanji lyrics. That was it. Nothing else.
Yep, that was it.
That's all you need, obviously.
Kanji.
Kanji. Yeah. So that one was actually updated pretty quickly. And the original people worked on it. I'm looking back, Kosaten, yeah. But then it wasn't until 2020 that Ruby finally, managed to get something a little bit better on there. We finally got the thing cleaned up. There's templates that were made for the, still the box at the top, and then this one down at the side that has all the song information. These are all templates, and it basically just comes up with a little form that you can fill out and pop in all of the information that you need or that is available at the moment.
It's so helpful.
Oh yeah, I don't know whoever came up with this stuff originally. I mean, I'm assuming this is just part of the wiki code that was available. You have to create the template and decide what you want to have in it. And I've still found a couple templates here and there that are a bit wonky, but it's still kind of beyond me. I'm trying to learn how to make them work, but I just can't quite make my brain comprehend it. So I keep hoping that we'll get somebody that can understand those templates. And then we also have, there's all the lyrics, obviously. We have this whole navigation. Is the navigation not in here? Oh my God, I'm going to have to fix this. Okay. Usually there's a whole navigation thing at the bottom that will, let me see if I can find it on here. All of this. Nope, it's not in here either. Okay, well, I have tasks to do after we're done tonight. But basically, it shows all of the categories that are in the wiki, all of the different, this is season 3, all of the episodes and all the insert songs and everything. Trivia, and it'll have links to all of the, CDs and the songs and everything. And all of that was created by whoever started the wiki and implemented all this. So all gratitude to them, obviously, because this is not something I would ever really even conceive of doing. And it's really great that they set this all up. So even though we don't have them anymore to contribute, we still have I'm basically standing on the shoulders of the people who started all this. So I can basically just copy. If I need to do a new song, I just, go in here, create a new song, insert the templates as appropriate, and then it just comes down to adding the information that is available. So when I first started adding songs, I was like searching CD Japan and stuff for all of the song information. Since then, I've found this really good video game database website that has all of the information. And I'm actually angry at them right now because they don't have the Star Tours set list or the bonus CD on there. I'm like, I need this. I need to know. I finally got the physical copies of them, so I have the catalog numbers, and I still can't find the information. So that is the only reason that I have not created those yet.
That honestly is interesting, though. It's been out for like a good 15 days.
It came out.
Have it on there by now, maybe.
Well, yeah, and I mean, like, the movie came out last September.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the set list CD came out before then, and I didn't even know there was a set list CD for a long time. It's like, how come nobody informed me? Somebody's falling down on their job.
I kind of figured there would be one, since.
Yeah, it's like, of course we know that there would be one. I was so obsessed with getting all of the individual, like, Idol song CDs and all those on there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we had, like, weird little artifacts like that were just so random. And it's like, even now and then I'll still stumble across something that just is out of place and needs to be corrected. But for the most part, I think most things have been corrected. I can actually, you know what? I want to, let's see, because it collapses the categories now. Let me see if I can, I'm going to go ahead and edit this page real quick just so you can see how it works.
Cool. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, so there's two versions of the editor. We have the visual editor, which is more of like I'll just show you. The source editor actually shows you the base code. Like, this is actually what the templates look like, all in between the curly brackets. And you can add categories to them if there are, necessary categories. The visual editor is more of like a, this, obviously. So it'll actually show you what the page looks like. But I am old school enough that I just prefer the source code. So this, like, so you have square brackets around anything to link. If you want to have it look like something else, like we're linking to the Evolution Eve single, but we just want to say Evolution Eve, so we have this, they call it a pipe that separates those. And then, so this is all of the music box. It has all the specific information about, like, the composer and everything. Then we're talking about the first track from Evolution Eve, who it's performed by. It has the fonts and, like, the character color. So that designates, showing which person they're referring to. And then we have the CD rankings, the lyrics. They used to put in the Oricon rankings pretty regularly, but that's not something that I've really been able to deal with. So it would be fantastic if we could get somebody. Videos. Oh yeah, they don't have the link for the navigation. So the ref list is a template that you just put in like that, and then it'll pop up any references that were made earlier. So, like, whoever did the translation or or whatever. And then navigation is literally, I think it's Navbox, isn't it?
I think so.
I'm gonna, you know what? This is because you have to. I'm also gonna take out the French link because we're not going to talk about that.
Yeah.
But, and then of course, it's always important to do a summary of.
I always keep forgetting to do that.
You can actually set it in see this little wrench down here on the right?
Yeah.
You can actually set it in your settings to remind you to do that. But it's also important to, like, look at the preview.
Yeah.
Now they changed the way they did this, which I really don't like, because it basically pops the box up. Okay. What is that? So obviously something's wrong there. And
I'm learning.
Yeah. See, this
this
is also why I tell everyone, don't just do things, take your time and
learn to code.
Take your time, pay attention to one of the easiest things to do, especially with this that I found, was just actually looking at the code that was already in there. Oh, it's music nav box. That's what it is. Okay. I'm looking at another page. I actually just went in and looked at the code and used that to, for your references. And it really makes a big difference. Okay, so if I put music nav box and I need to get rid of that space. And then I'm going to save my changes because now I know it's right. And now we have our nav box, which is what it should be. And this is another thing that the people who set up the wiki did that was super cool. So this also has to be updated with, like the most recent.
Oh, yeah.
But the movies and all that. But that's, again, something that I'm still not really clear on how to do. And I don't want to mess with it until I understand what's going on. But yeah, it has links to all the good stuff. And then categories also. I don't know why they automatically collapse. But yeah, so that is how the wiki gets edited. It used to have, since the code has been updated, fandom.com is occasionally updating. We used to have a tab across, underneath the lyrics, that was color coded to whoever. So if it was an Odia song, it would be red. If it was a Ren song, it would be orange. And that all has disappeared, which is very sad.
Damn you, fandom wiki.
I know. It's really frustrating. But yeah, so that is essentially how the wiki works. And I want to go back and show the front page because it still does look really nice. Ruby's been updating the news and that's basically just, whatever the most recent stuff happening is. So, even though Song Parade just ended, we're still, unlike when something new comes along, it'll bump the other thing off. So, it seems to go in waves, I swear, with Utapri, where it'll be quiet for a long period of time, and then all of a sudden there'll be 12 things happening at once, and it's like, oh shit. So
wait till the anniversary comes around, then we're really screwed.
I know. It's been interesting the past few years because they've announced a few things, but it's usually enough to keep up with at least.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, that's the wiki, and I do really like how it looks now. It's easy to navigate. I will say I have to go through and kind of clean up this a little bit because there's so much music now that it just doesn't all fit. You can only put 10 links per sub menu. And
I did not know that.
There's so much music now. I've seen other wikis where they'll just have multiple categories for that item because there's so much stuff. Like the Zelda games or whatever, because there's so many of those. But you can also just click on the top link and it'll take you to the full list of everything. And there's so much.
Yeah.
So, but these little templates are super fun too, because they're a cute little, it just shows the album cover and when it came out, and then it'll take you to that individual page. So that's a nice way to navigate around as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't pay attention as much to the community page as I would like, but it's pretty quiet anyway. So yeah, but they also they did the colors for all the guys, and there's a sequence of colors for each one. So we have a lot more templates than it looks like, because it all seems to render pretty cleanly, but there's a lot of code going on under the surface that I still don't understand and probably never will, and that's okay. I'm I'm sure somebody will understand it, and that's fine.
Again, this is why it should be a job. So this should be paid.
Honestly, I am seriously this close to putting it down in the resume that right. I just have to figure out how to word it right, because it's been a whole learning experience. Mm-hmm. I've had they've changed things, we've had to adjust because they like changed it to have like a light and dark color scheme, which doesn't really affect us that much because the background is the same. But apparently some of the pages were messed up, and one of the fan.com people went, "Oh, I can fix these for you," and I was like, "Thank you." I don't know what I'm doing. But yeah, it's been really kind of fun and occasionally very frustrating. Like, okay, so there was one thing I mentioned that I wanted to talk about, which was that we had this really weird, like, editing war with some of the Seiyu portraits. So like we've got, and I am not joking.
That was
weird.
That was interesting.
Yeah, so like we have really basic stuff, because this is not about. I love the Seiyu, obviously, but the wiki is about Utapri.
Right.
The Seiyu are basically only being mentioned as, as they are involved in it, and maybe a little bit of personal information, like when Mino got married. And somebody came in and was like changing the image for Mino, and like they kept changing it, and I was changing it back, and they kept changing it again. And Shotaro was another one, Morikubo-san, and I don't know why they were so obsessed, because these guys don't generally update their headshots that much.
I feel like that's why sometimes like they'll use, like, whenever a Seiyu's announced in a new show or product or whatever, like, I'm always like, that's a headshot from 10 years ago.
Yeah,
that they keep using. Suabe's headshot. I love the man. Okay, I love him, but I wish they would use this, like you're showing right now. I wish they would use that headshot, because they always use the old one.
Yeah, and that was the one that was on here for a long time. I don't even remember when this one got changed, but eventually it was like, no, we have to. And I'm looking at it now, and I'm like, who has ever used these nicknames for him? Suojun, Jinitan? Has anybody ever called him that? Ever? I want to know. I want evidence. We need citation needed.
Well, my thing is like, okay, how do you, whoever did that, how do you know that?
Exactly.
Two, like, with these nicknames and stuff, I'm like, these would be nicknames given to an individual where you're like, if you're like actually their friend or whatever.
Yeah.
Why would you?
Plus, he's even said he doesn't like to be called Junichi-san. He prefers being called Suabe. So why would you do that?
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So I ended up having to lock down all of the Seiyu's pages. And there was one person who was very nicely also changing them back. And I ended up inviting them into the Discord just because I was like, please, if there's anything else you can contribute. So we've gotten people in through that, which was kind of funny. But it was just so, like, why are you so obsessed with these specific headshots and changing them?
That's so random.
Maybe it really was weird.
What the hell?
I won't pull up the history because I don't want to show the person's name. They had made a bunch of edits, so it was not like they were a new stranger off the street either. I just don't know. They were just really, really obsessed is the only word that I can use.
Maybe they really liked those pictures. I don't know.
I guess, for me, it's like, it doesn't really matter so much because, like I said, the information about the Seiyu is secondary. As much as I love them, there's tons of information about them everywhere else on the internet. Like, even Suabe, voices a couple characters in JoJo's, and like the main JoJo's wiki has like a whole bunch of information on him, and had a bunch of cast pictures of him with various of the other, which made me laugh because Toriumi-san was in there, Daiki was in there. Somebody else, because it was all from the fourth part that a whole bunch of Utapri Seiyu were in. But it was like, you can find this information anywhere. This wiki is not about them as much as I think you want it to be.
Maybe because because I know with a lot of like the Wikipedia pages for some, they don't have a picture.
Yeah,
for some reason, but
which is. Maybe they don't have the rights to it, or maybe they don't feel comfortable.
Yeah.
But I feel
maybe
like
this was their like, no, I can change it, so I'm gonna change it to what I want it. But like,
exactly.
I don't know. Yeah, just like be respectful, people. Like, come on now. This is silly.
What's also kind of funny to me is like, you see we've got like 2 lines of Suave. There's a fair bit more of information about other people because they've got more information out there, I think. Like Suzumura, they've got, quite a bit. But still, like if I wanted to go in and add a whole big thing about him, we could, but there's other things to focus on.
Yeah,
so,
exactly. Plus, if they're curious, they can just look somewhere else.
Exactly. You can look on my anime list and find out so much. I mean,
they have their own Wikipedia page.
I was like looking up something about Kojiku's voice actor from Dramatical Murder and discovered that he was in a group with Suave and Suzuka, and I was like, what the? How come I didn't know about that? There's it's all out there. It's very easy if I can find it.
You just learn, you have to look all over the place for this information. So yeah, it's like the Utapri Wiki, like it is a hub for information on like the state. You're like, oh yeah, they voice the character, but like you said, it's more about like the actual series. It's about the characters. Like,
exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Like if I want extra information, I'll go look it up somewhere else.
Yeah, because it's like I can't put in, oh, he also voiced this person and that person and the other person. Like he voiced Kenichi voiced Zack from Final Fantasy VII.
Yep.
And that was where he met Maya Sakamoto, who he's now married to, which I absolutely love.
Right, me too.
It was so adorable. It was
that's my thing too. I'm like, I could have gone in and edited and put like, like half the seiyuu in this or in Kuroko's basketball together as well. Like I could list all of that.
But once you start,
I wanted to
stop.
Exactly.
Because we'd have to list all of their roles because it's not fair if you only list a few of them.
Yeah.
Like I know them from this one and you know them from that one. And at that point it's like, no, just go to my anime list. Exactly. I'm begging you.
Yeah, just go.
Or their Wikipedia. Wikipedia has the whole list, and they have it by year. Or you can Control F and find the series or whatever.
And that's even before you get into like Japanese, websites.
Yeah.
And Japanese Google, and that may have like a lot more information.
Yep.
Which is a rabbit hole I've also gone down.
Yep.
For various reasons, but yeah, I like. So I was looking up stuff on Elements Garden because every now and then a new person shows up in there, and we have a page for Elements Garden with everybody that's in it. And there's a lot of people, and there's a lot of songs. And I just actually went through and updated this a couple weeks ago, and it's like, oh my God, it takes forever because there's so many songs. But also I can't read the kanji. I have to try and figure out who's who. I have a private list that like on a document, just so I can kind of look at it and squint and go, oh, does that character matches that one. Okay, that's Kasayuda, so I know that they wrote that song. But that is all on Japanese, internet. Because why would it be over here? There's obviously no reason. Like the fact that Agamatsu recently started tweeting in English is a goddamn miracle. And now that he's retweeting stuff, like he's retweeted stuff from some of the other names that I recognize, and I'm like, oh my God, Fujinaka Ryotaro, I know that name. But like all of these people are just Japanese, so there's no reason for them to be on English, websites. So that's like another level of research that has ruined my life. But like honestly, I just want to say, just for a moment, it's like as I was editing this the first time and like looking at how many songs that Agamatsu has written.
Agamatsu is king.
He is a god.
Oh my God.
Yeah, seriously.
I need to meet the man. We gotta meet the man.
And oh my God, the link for Troy is still wrong. The link for Troy is wrong. Why? So obviously that's something else I have to fix. But that's just lyrics. Now we have the composition.
Oh my God.
He is a god.
He's arranged a few songs. Why is there a space there? That's odd. And like, so he's the fact that he has stepped back a bit and you see Spirit Garden for more of the lyrics these days. I think he's also working on other stuff. He's working on Visual Prison. He's working on Bang Dream and like a bunch of other things. And I think he writes for Symphogear.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, so there's more lyricists coming in, but he'll still, like, he did the first Idol song for the movie for Star Shores, for all of the songs that were actually in the movie. And it's just like how he does it, I just don't know. But then there's a lot of other people that also work very hard on these songs, and so I always want to make sure and like give them credit and just kind of like praise them for all the hard work that they do. So if you're ever curious, if you ever feel like browsing, like the Elements Garden page is fascinating, just like to see how much is on there and how many songs ultimately have been produced. We never really think about how much goddamn music there is for this.
I know there's so much. Yeah, it's
so many and counting.
It's Uta no Prince Sama.
I mean, yeah, it's about the songs, and at the same time, God, there's a lot of songs.
There are a lot of songs. It's not on my channel anymore. Well, it is, but it's blocked. I had a video, which you can't watch anymore because every time I try to re-upload it by editing it, it still gets blocked. I did my top 10 favorite songs like that were only in the anime, because at that point I had only like really watched the anime, so I knew, like, I was getting into like the CDs and everything, but I was more familiar with songs from the anime. So I did a top 10 of like my favorite songs from the anime. And, I feel like all the songs that I picked, I mean, I don't know, with any Utapri song, it's like you can tell it's specifically Utapri. And actually, somebody else who was interested in talking and being on the podcast at a later date wants to go in depth with the songs. So I won't go too in depth here, since I want to wait till I can talk to this other person. But yeah, it's about the music, and
really
I'm really impressed with everything that you guys have done to kind of keep the wiki updated and alive and everything. So I just, I want to give you props, because that's
well, thank you.
It clearly does not seem easy. Like, it's me sitting here watching that, like, you edit everything. I was like, I don't know.
It's something, that's for sure. Sometimes I have to have multiple tabs up just so I can make sure.
I often do. Like, I've got a couple right now, just because I was like, especially when I'm creating a new song page, it's usually far enough apart that I don't remember exactly what all is needed. So it's just easiest to go to an existing song page, copy off of that and use that for my overall template. But it really has been a learning process, and as easy as they make it, and like once you start seeing, okay, it's just like 2 square brackets around a link and whatever else, there's still a learning curve for it. So it's been fun. It's been stressful, and it does take some energy as well. As much as I love doing it, like one of the reasons that I haven't really gotten to doing the set list stuff yet is like I've been so stressed out about other things that this is not the priority I wish it could be. But like most of the time, it's been a pleasure to work on, and certainly having everyone, in the group like chime in and helping out has made it a lot easier. It's like I don't have to try and take it all on alone, because I would do that. I'm that kind of person. It's like, no, if I don't do it, it won't be right. Like, no, I can trust everyone else that, they have the knowledge to contribute. And the nice thing too is like people are also kind of learning, but I can say, oh, this is what the code should be. You got it. Everything is right except for this. So we're all helping each other out in the process too. So I have to give big props to my team.
Well, it also brings people together, right? Like
totally.
You wouldn't be here. And people who are helping you edit and maintain the wiki, like, wouldn't be here if they didn't love the series.
Exactly.
So that's the other thing.
Exactly.
that's the other thing that, like, you know, when I decided, like, when I brought out the idea of, like, making a podcast like this, is because, you know, I enjoy talking about Utapri with other people, especially if I get them into it, or, like, you know, maybe, like, it's a mutual love. But I have, you know, there's a few friends that, like, maybe we met because of Utapri, but they don't really talk about it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Or, like, they fell off, you know, they stopped playing Shining Live after all. I mean, I did too, because I got into other games, but, you know, it was always there for me, except not anymore, RIP.
Sure. Well,
Yeah.
here's my thing too. It's like I am a multi-fandom person.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I was mentioning Final Fantasy 14, JoJo's. The other thing that I'm into right now is Dramatical Murder, which I was super late to, and I admit it. And I, like,
I was gonna say Dramatical Murder. I haven't heard that name.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Like the official translation came out in 2021, and I had seen some vague references to it on Tumblr, like when it originally came out, but I don't really. It's just kind of like, that's a weird name. No, thank you. Of course, if I'd known that it was, you know, a BL, you know, visual novel, I probably would have changed my tune. But at that time, the only thing that was available was a fan translation anyway. And so actually playing it through with the official translation, it has its flaws. I mean, nothing's perfect, but completely fell head over heels. And so that's been my other main fandom. And that's been a joy to get into too, especially because I know, and I'm going to say this because I know you talked mainly about the Gekkidon stuff. The guy who plays Ranmaru, Alan Kohatsu, played Kojiku in the Dramatical Murder Butai in 2019, which was, you know, 7 years after the original game came out. And they're doing a revival. Well, I say revival because that's like the Broadway term, but they're doing like a flashback new version of it at the end of April, I believe. And so he's going to be playing Kojiku again. And so it just cracks me up because he looks so completely different as Ranmaru or Malro versus Kojiku, but it's like he's still, you know, he's an amazing actor. And I'm just like, so this is something else that I've fallen in love with and fell down the rabbit hole for. Because then, like, the guy who plays Tokia in the Gekkidon Shining Place is amazing. Nosuke he is Tokia, pretty much.
He is.
He really, he has managed to get so many of those mannerisms so dead on. And I just, you know, I really like in the beginning of Polaris when he's just like a complete asshole. I'm like, yeah.
Exactly. I'm just like, oh my God, he literally brought season 1 Tokia to life, and I love it.
And then like that scene where he finally actually just busts out laughing. And I'm like, that's him. Yes, I love it so much. So yeah, so that's something else that has been great fun to get into and discover more about and like kind of follow. That's one reason I'm going to be sad if Twitter goes away, because like I follow a bunch of these actors on Twitter. They post about whatever project they're currently in, and I'm like, if I can't follow them, then what am I going to do in my life?
Have more time to edit the wiki.
Yeah. Or find a new place to live. Yeah. So it's it all kind of has come together in a weird way. It's like I love finding those interconnections where, you know, the actors are in similar things, or, you know, the Seiyu like interconnect in different places, and it's all, to me, it's all like this giant, really cool web, sort of. And it's just, to me, it's fun tracking those things down and finding those connections. But yeah, that's I think that's about all I had to say on the wiki. Oh, I had one more thing that really cracked me up. There's somebody who commented on the wiki when the 7th stage first got postponed because of COVID. It was really funny because this comment was like, so the 7th stage, blah, 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 and they were giving the very specific dates of when it was originally scheduled and the where and everything. And like, and the message was something like, please reschedule as soon as possible because we really want to see it. And we were sitting there going, I don't know how to tell you that we are not involved in any way, shape,
we're
or
not
form.
officiated with them.
We are American fans.
Yeah, we're American fans. We just
bro. I live in the U.S. I don't have control over the scheduling at in a different country, let alone like at a place I don't work at.
I'm like, I'm in Cincinnati and I don't even speak Japanese, so I don't know what to tell you. I don't know if they thought that like we were officially involved, which we're not, because it does say we're in the unofficial wiki, or it was just kind of like they were trying to make this appeal in as many places as possible in hopes that like the organizers would see it. But even so, I was like, I don't think we can help you.
Sorry to bring this. Sorry to tell you this, but we just spread the word. We don't. Yeah. Yeah, we just spread the word and you know, just translate a little bit. That's about as far as we get. It's not like we get. It's not like we get acknowledged for that.
We can share. In fact, we don't want to be acknowledged.
Yeah, we don't want to be acknowledged. Like you know, like we're there. People can find us. You know, if they actually Google it.
Mm-hmm. But like I was involved with the translation wiki for a while, and at one point somebody snitch tagged one of the announcement posts for a translated chapter to Broccoli, and everybody was terrified because it was
what?
Yeah, that was the thing that really happened.
So that's what that was. Oh my god.
Yeah, you remember that, huh?
I do remember something happened, but I didn't know exactly what that. Oh my god.
I can't remember when. I can't remember whose chapter it was, but what they do is they have a Twitter. They announce whenever a new chapter is translated for all. Well, they finished Reggie's route on All Star. They finished Cecil's route in Repeat Love, and they've been gradually the various teams work on the different chapters for the routes. And I was basically helping kind of manage and checking in and making sure people were still working on it or were even aware, you know, that it was still going on. So, but they tweet whenever a chapter is released, and somebody like snitch tagged Broccoli in the comments to that. And so for a few days afterward, everybody was petrified that they were going to come in and be like, no, you can't do this. You have to shut it down. It's not official. It's not sanctioned, you know, because it's a fan translation. Even if it's a game that, you know, is from 2010, still, it's their copyright.
Yeah, no, Broccoli will like rain hell on you.
Oh yeah,
they'll like
have a stick. Yeah, they're kind of a stick.
They'll do that. I mean, I've seen
the whole copyright thing.
I've seen, you know, stores, people's like fan stores, you know, where they make their own stuff.
Yeah. And they're within their rights to do so. That's their copyright.
It infringes their copyright, but
yeah, it was terrifying. So for like a week where everybody was on pins and needles going, are we going to get a DMCA or shutdown notice? Nothing happened, thank God.
I mean, really?
Yeah, we were super lucky. But there was one person I remember who was like, if this happens, I'm going to have to go. You know, I have no idea why they were like so terrified that something was going to happen, even though there was no personal information identifying them anywhere, you know. They were like, I'm going to have to leave. And we were very lucky that no action was taken. But yeah, it can get a little bit scary sometimes being, you know, trying to get this information. And also knowing that, you know, the way we sometimes get the things that we get might not be, you know, 100% within the law. The merch and everything.
Yeah.
Some of it, like I've gone on Amazon.co.jp to look for, I think I was looking for some of the season 4 DVDs, and it was like, oh yeah, we have that. And I put in my cart and it says, oh, we can't ship that to that location because there's just, the rights aren't there. So it's like, you know, we do what we can if we really want it bad enough. Another thing that is commonly an issue is like the perfumes. Because of the alcohol in the formula, it can't be shipped by air, and most forwarding services won't touch it because it's too much of a hassle, and that's understandable also. So it's like you have to go around it somehow if you really want it, but you also need to be very careful about how you talk about it.
Because,
exactly.
I have Tokia's perfume. And, I got it through a friend who has a friend in Japan, and so I'm just like, I don't know how the hell they got it, but I'm glad I got it, because
exactly. We're not going to ask too many questions.
Right. It's just like they managed to get it, and they got to you.
That's all that matters.
That's all that matters.
I remember somebody selling it, mentioning they bought it from somebody on eBay once, but that was like a very unique situation that could not be repeated. I don't know. I don't understand copyright law. I don't understand all of what goes on with
especially in Broccoli's case.
Yeah, right. Like they could, especially now they have started.
Yeah, I feel like they're a little too strict about it.
I don't understand. Like now that they've released some of the songs on iTunes, why not go back and release all of the songs on iTunes? Why not come out on Spotify?
Yeah, it was freaking Spotify.
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah, I know.
Like, guys, Idol 7 has all of their songs on Spotify. Exactly. Yeah, I can listen to like all the songs from like what's another series like.
Yeah,
Hip Mike, I think.
Like Hypnosis Mike, Hypnosis Mike has all their songs on Spotify. I can listen to any of those. But Utapri, no.
We'll just send off like a few of the themes, and Lionel's already on there, and he does the opening, so that's fine. But then you have like, and then you get the series that you would never think would ever release their music on streaming service. Thank you, Idol Master. I still can't believe it. And I still can't believe that they're able to do that.
Honestly, I just think Broccoli's allergic to making money.
And that was so funny because they had problems like releasing like ones from like their other branches, but for some reason for Sidon, it's like now we're just gonna release literally everything.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think they're allergic to making international money.
Yeah.
Which is like, I mean, okay,
even though
maybe it won't be that much, but still, like it's like you have fans overseas.
It's like Broccoli, I will sell you my firstborn child for more Utapri stuff.
Mm-hmm. And honestly, I still as mad and justifiably mad as everyone was at K-Lab for what happened with Shining Live.
Yes,
at least we had Shining Live.
Yes.
If not for Shining Live, I wouldn't have found out about Utapri in the first place. And
I mean, yes, but also still like fuck you, K-Lab.
Yes, I agree.
Exactly. It's like thank you and forget you.
I think about the Snow Print or the Snow King Tokyo.
Yay!
All the time, and I just want to cry because I worked so hard to get that one.
Oh, and like for me, it's okay. So for me, it was two things. One was that I can't remember which OT event it was, but it was the first and only one where I actually got to 1,000,000 points, and I have never done that before. And then the second one was for the Sanrio cards. I was able to get 7 out of 14, and I paid for one of them because I wanted Otia's card, but I also wanted Masato's because he had Hello Kitty.
That still makes me furious because so many people went so hard and spent so much money on that.
Thank you. Oh my god.
My thing is
for those.
Is okay. You can go back on my channel and look at when I used to do gacha pulls in Shining Live or scouting videos, whatever.
I took so many.
You can go back and look. The fucking Shining Romance set.
Yeah.
I had all of the fucking cards. Yeah. But you know who I didn't get for the longest goddamn time?
Tokyo.
I made my fucking thumbnail a picture of fire in the background of him. Because I spent 2,400 fucking prisms just to get him. I spent so much money on that fucking game. Like
but also now that I think about it, I think the Sanrio collab was probably the luckiest I ever been in a gacha because I was able to get at least 1 or 2 URs every time when there was like a guaranteed, and I was just like, oh my god!
I wasn't even into that. Like, I'm not into Sanrio, and I'm not into that like kind of thing. And I just did a pull on it for the hell of it, and I still wound up with Natsuki and Kamio, and I still don't know how that happened.
I still can't believe when I got Othea. I flipped out because Othea flipped, and I was just like, wait. I literally had to put my phone down and I was shaking.
it's one of those things where, and I even got a comment on that video too that was like, you know, I like watching your videos, but like when you get mad because you don't get it, I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm getting mad because I've spent fucking money on this shit.
Yeah.
I want this one specific card. Like, I got every other card. I literally had all the Shining Romance cards, and I had all the Force Life cards, except the Tokyo one. And I'm like, it's not even a UR, it's an SR or whatever it was.
I don't know.
Yeah, I had all of them except for the UR.
I was like, I might as well complete the set. So like why would you even post like okay, yeah, all right, maybe I was being like a little excessively like upset or whatever, like exaggerating, but like I spent like
no, it was totally justified. Are you kidding me? That was totally justified. It's literally like the year before Shining Live ended, I finally was able to complete, you know, the Shining Live UR set. And Session was the only one I didn't have. He came on Christmas.
Well, the other one that I like spent so much money on was the Setsugetsuka ones, because I wanted the Tokyo one, and I wanted Ren's too. I never got him ever.
For some reason, I was super lucky with that one. I got Tokyo and Ren, Kamyu, and I think I got Masato.
I remember
getting the card, and I got shows. Who else did I get?
The Setsugetsuka card I got the most of was actually Cecil's, and that was like a card that I like, you know, leveled up pretty fast. I was like, you know what, Cecil, you're not one of my like top 5 faves or whatever or anything, but like, you know what?
Thank you for coming home anyway.
Yeah, but you came through.
You always come to me, so you know what? That's gonna be that was like one of the cards I would use. Like, well, I always autoplay everything because I'm lazy, but you know, that card would definitely help me. So it's, you know, like...
and then the other thing about Shining Live was that, you know, I would always pull on Ultia's birthday because no matter what, I am getting that B-Day card. And I pull once for everybody else because, you know, I want to at least try. And, you know, I've gotten lucky. And then, you know, Shining Live decided, like, yeah, we're not gonna do this anymore. We're gonna close on Christmas.
See, I still think it was absolutely cruel to do that. A, because Christmas, but also 3 days before Masato's birthday.
Like, how could you do that?
How cruel?
Then again, A3 kind of did the same thing, but at least they were being sweet about it. But still, Shining Light was being just evil about it.
At least with A3, before it closed, you could still read like the whole story mode.
Yes.
Because I was really sad about A3 too, because I really liked that game.
I
and
know.
I
was so excited. I was so excited when I found out about the English version. I'm just like, thank you. Finally.
It was so cute. But yeah, I was mad about that. But it was Shining 11. Like, really? That's what you're gonna give us the day after fucking Christmas? Is you're just gonna close the server?
I mean, really.
And then not even like letting us save our data or anything like that.
Right, exactly. And now we have like freaking Love Live, you know, having a new game, and people are allowed to transfer their data over from that old game to the new one. And I'm just like, you see, this is why Love Live dropped you, K-Lab, because they're tired of your crap.
Like,
they dodged a bullet there. Oh my god!
I'm just waiting for the Ensemble Stars game to announce that they're gonna shut down their server too. Like, I haven't logged in that game in a really long time, but I'm just waiting.
I'm waiting in the first place, because seriously, I thought it was a joke.
I'm waiting for that game to close. I'm waiting for several games to close that I haven't played in a while that, like, I don't think are doing as well as they did when they first came out. Like, I'm waiting for the Mr. Love server to close for sure, especially because with that game, they announced, like, oh yeah, for certain, like, the main story, we're not going to add voice lines anymore. So
that's a bad sign.
They're like, yeah, fuck you.
Yeah, I dropped
like,
that game after the anime came out.
All of the guys, I loved that game. Okay, the anime was bullshit, but I don't like how they like rushed the story.
With that. It could have been better.
They rushed the fucking story, and then they only brought in my boy Helios for the last fucking episode, and that pissed me the fuck off. Anyway. Like, I'm like, okay, you guys announced that you're removing main story voice lines from the game. I'm like, you guys are just gearing up to close this fucking game. You're just getting ready to close the server.
Yeah. Speaking of main story, Shining Live, when are you guys going to actually do an actual main story?
I
We
feel
have
like
so much
it's just
event.
not
We
going to
have
happen
so much
anymore.
event story and so little main story, if you can even call it that anymore.
I mean, no, it really was not any kind of.
Oh yeah, Megan. Yeah,
Yeah.
Megan's Kurumi. Yep, and Megan. Yep, the ultimate ramen. Yes, Megan max out every ultimate ramen card.
It's very sad when these games close.
It is, especially when you spend so much time and even money on them.
My thing with Shining Light is I'm like, okay, like I was on board with the game as soon as it was announced that they were going to do an English server.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so excited. I remember like when I was waiting in line at Anime Expo to get into the room for like Manji Love Kingdom and to see Momo and Tarashi. Like I was playing the fucking event that was going on at the time. Like, because I'm like, well, I don't have anything else to do. Wait in this line. I'm just gonna play the game.
I was playing that event at work.
You know, it's like. And the other thing is, I'm like, you know, this game, like Pam said, it introduced a lot of people to the series.
Yeah, it just like people and brought people back.
Found it because
exactly,
you know, it's like a niche thing, you know, like it's very rare when these games get like an English server, like with A3, where I'm like, I had no idea this was a thing that existed, and then like I played the games, I'm like, oh, it looks cool. And then you get into it and you're like, oh my god, yay! And then it's like, oh yeah, after like 2 years or whatever, like, bye. Like, okay.
Yeah, but, you know, they did pretty good for 2 years.
They did. And with Shining Live, you know, I will still fuck you, Caleb, but, I mean, you kept the game up for at least 5 years.
So long,
so, you know,
everyone else even more upset the fact that they were closing down without letting us, like, merge the server, like, transfer the data.
Like, at least good for you on that, but,
yeah.
Honestly, I felt even worse for the folks that were on the Chinese server initially.
Oh, yeah.
That got folded into the global server. And so to survive that, and then, like, 3 years later, whoops, sorry, nope,
you gotta do it. It's just, that was just awful. And I didn't even know about the Chinese server until, like, later. And I'm just like, are you serious? They have to go through this again? That's awful. How could they do this? How could they do that? That's not cool.
I mean, I get that it wasn't really making money, and that's obviously the whole, like, what the business is for, but at the same time, it's like, just let us have a dignified exit.
My thing is, like, okay, Caleb, it wasn't making money. You know how much money I put into this game? You know how much money I spent?
I know, right? I feel like the reason why I even got my first job during college, just so I could pay for the game and pay for, like, whatever merch that I wanted at the time.
Yeah,
because I was so bad about saving prisms. So when a birthday came around, that it was mostly Tokios and Rens, but it was like, you know what? I'll just buy the package. That way, I'll have a guaranteed copy. And if I happen to pull and get another one, yeah, that's great.
Exactly. Well, sometimes I would sit there and be like, can I spend the $70 whatever on, like, the big prism thing? Yeah, it's been like a month since I purchased the last one that I did. Okay, and then I will just buy it.
Yeah, I think I've done that. I think I've done that maybe twice, because
like, including that in your monthly budget is not the worst thing. I figure
not.
That's true.
Yeah, and it wasn't like I did it all the time, but it was nice to be able to have that option.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah,
and I will admit, you know, I did stop playing after, you know, years or whatever of doing it, because I got into other games, and I started putting my money into other games.
Sure, yeah,
exactly.
There was a point where it's like, you know, I wasn't even logging in every day, and I did get back to at least logging in every day. You know, getting the daily, you know, whatever. Even if I'm not playing the songs, at least, you know, I'm checking in, and, you know, I was able to then, like, see Tokia, and there was that feeling, like, I remember Megan talking about feeling like this connection, you know, because you could see them daily, and you could have that little bit of interaction. And now it's like, unless you know, went through the extra steps to get into the Japanese server, it's just gone.
Yeah, it's not really the same anymore.
No, it really isn't.
Especially since you're used to, you know.
Like I went ahead and did that because I do still want to have that, but it's like I don't feel as engaged in it because I can't understand anything with what's going on. If I want to try and read something, I have to, take a screenshot, close out, go to Google Translate, let it attempt to translate the thing for me and then go back, and that kind of breaks the immersion.
Yeah,
exactly.
Well, it's also like the cool accomplishment feeling of like, ooh, I'm at like level whatever bond with this character. I can unlock more stuff.
I missed that. God, I missed that too. I was like,
and then you would go and like
300 something Ultia.
And then you would go and unlock it, and then it's like, ooh, that's getting like more like intimate. Like, oh, he's like being like,
I
love you.
Like you'd have the scene where Tokyo all of a sudden wanders up close to the screen, is like, let's spend some time together, and I'm like, okay.
Yes. I always love
and he gets all blushing, and I'm like, all right.
I think one of my favorite ones was I think I was like level 50 Von Ren, and he just got up all close and stuff, and then he blushed, and that was the part that got me. Was like, oh my god, he blushed. What is happening?
I made the anime boy blush.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, this guy blushed. I gotta take a screenshot.
Yeah, and I'm so glad that I like got as many screenshots and stuff as I did, because I was going back through them and being like, oh, I remember when I did that poll, and I remember when when the fifth anniversary stuff came out, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna do one poll on Tokyo's box, and DUR just popped up, and I was like, I was on call with Ryan. I was like, oh my god, I can't believe this is happening.
I even remember the first solo poll I ever did. It was the first Valentine one where the URs were Natsuki and Ren.
Mm-hmm.
And so the Natsuki one was, I didn't have enough prisons because I kind of used them all for what event was happening at the time. So I had enough for a solo poll, and I'm just like, okay, let's do it. I pulled it, it was a great start, so I'm like, okay, that's fine. And it was Natsuki. I'm like, okay, cool. Then all of a sudden, rainbow background. I'm like, wait, what? Oh my god!
Flip.
Oh my god! I'm like, so this is what a flip looks like. Oh my god!
I think my favorite flip that I ever got, and I have a video of it.
Oh,
so
nice.
If you go and scroll down, it's the Valentine's Day URs when Tokyo was one of the URs with the.
I love that one.
Oh yeah.
That flip. I remember it was a flip.
Hello.
That is one of my favorite reactions of mine that I've recorded that I still have. I think I'm gonna go back and watch that video after we're done.
I remember getting that one. I was like, I really want that one because somebody pointed out that he was blushing on the card, and I was like, I need to see this. So, but early on, it was like I would just pull so much. Like I remember, I think the first banner pull that when I was playing was the Marine when they had the water fight.
And
I was like, oh my god, do I have to? I need to get all of these cards, right? I didn't really understand pulling for a specific person. So I remember spending all the prisms I had on that one. I ended up getting almost all of them, but it was like, okay, well, I don't think I needed to do that.
I got lucky with that one because I pulled for that one because Ota was the UR. So I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna pull for him, of course. And I got him in one pull. And then when that one was done, Masato was the UR for the second half. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to pull for the hell of it. Let's go. I pulled and Masato flipped. And I'm just like, oh my god. I have a UR pair. This is great.
That's the feeling that you're always chasing. Like I did a poll on this one that started today with Ren, which I can't even tell you what the name of the event is, but I was like, I've saved up enough prisms. I'm going to try for it. And it starts going and it's like, oh, there's 2 URs and I'm seeing SRs and I'm like, oh my God, this is fantastic. It was White Day Reiji, who I've already gotten 2 of. And the Tricky Devil Masato.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, okay, Ren, what?
I would always hate that they would leave some of the really old cards and then be like, I already have these. Please stop giving them to me.
Like the Shining Star stage ones.
Yeah, yes. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. The listening to music ones, and then the
god,
and then the than the super stage ones. Like, I had these already. Like, I'm pretty sure I've maxed all of these. I don't need these anymore. Please go away.
I was glad that they were going to be taking those out of the regular rotation.
Right, I'm just like, they appear on literally every gacha, guys. Please, we need a break. I have other cards I want to max, please.
That's one thing that I like about other game. I mean, like, because I feel like the gacha thing has like evolved even within like the past 5 years of like having a game like Shining Live, because I still play Obey Me. So like that one, they do like the excuse me, the rerolls.
Oh yeah.
Excuse me. Oh my god, I'm dying.
Please don't die.
I won't. Yeah, I'll try not to die on camera. Do the rerolls of that, and I like that because then it's like, oh, I can get that like UR card that I didn't get the last time of the character that I want, and you know, I'm like, man, I wish Utapri had done this, where I could get like, you know, the rerolls and get the URs that I want, and like sometimes, you know, or like the special event stuff. That was that's what I mean. Like, you know, the events, and like, oh, when the event's over, I can't get that UR of so and so anymore. With a baby, they do you can replay events.
Oh, that's really nice.
Till you get like the UR. So like, I was like, man, I wish Shining Life had something like that, where I could just replay an event just so I can get the card.
Yeah, like
not even like really rank or anything.
I also did appreciate the fact that when the global one started, yeah, I love the one when the global one started. They kind of like slow down a little bit with the events that was already happening in the Japanese events, so that, you know, we could catch up.
Yeah, and I really appreciate it. I really appreciate that they did the memorial bangles. It was, for me, it was a real struggle sometimes to even get 30,000, because that was a lot of playing. And there were times that I just did not have the energy. Like even now, this past month, I was playing a lot to try and get at playing both the events, but I just don't have the energy to force myself to play a lot. And so I wouldn't get enough bangles. And it's
that was my thing with the bangles too. The only problem I had with that, the only problem I had with the bangles was like, oh, it resets every month. That's like, well, shit, I don't have enough to get anything, so I'm gonna have to start over again.
Yeah,
like, at least with other games,
I tried just to get the bangles. You know,
at least with other games,
I don't have anymore.
With other games, like I can, like at least with a baby, like I like, it'll end, my time to redo the event ends, and I just have to like pay in-game currency again to like do it again. But I start where I left off the last time. So like, I don't have to start from the beginning anymore. I just keep going. So I wish the bangle exchange had been like that.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. Like, it was only 10,000 for the SR, so like sometimes I just wanted the SR, so I can still grab a couple of those. But
yeah, exactly. I remember I remember when they first did the bangle events. I was really excited for that, because then I was finally able to get the very first Utapri Shining Live event cart, because I didn't know how events work. So I was only able to get the SR for the first event, because I was like, oh, I get it now. But then it's like, oh man, I'm never gonna get this card again. And then it's like a bangle event. I'm like, oh my god, I can finally get that Ren card.
Yeah.
And then
the first event I played, I will never forget, because it was I and Kamio in the school series. And I was just like, I was still playing pretty much on normal, and like I really didn't have the technique to play on hard at all. So I was like, this is awful. I'm never going to catch up. And I managed to get Kami's card, and that was it. But it was like I was really, really struggling even back then, because obviously it was like my first time. I didn't know how to compose teams. I didn't even know to make multiple teams. I think it was still like using auto for putting most of the teams together. And like the fact that I actually got the card at all, the SR, was like better than nothing, but still, wow.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just, you know, as times go by, then you have your own teams. Like for me, it's the auto team, my Starish team, my Court Knight team, and the Senpai Kohai team, and then by the attributes. That's how organized I got.
My teams, well, I would just autoplay but once I started like not playing every day, I would just autoplay with an auto team, because like I had at least like really high level URs at that point, so I'm like, it'll just assemble it for me. I don't have to do it myself.
Yeah, exactly.
But I did have teams of like all my favorites, where I just had a team of just all Tokias, a team of all Ren, a team of
I would
all.
I would just have a team like just for their birthday.
I had the attributes, like I have a dream, charm, dream, vocal, dream, whatever, you know, and I'm still trying to do that now, but like my just general lineup is still so shabby that I've still got basic R cards and some. And I'm like, but I also don't really have the motivation to try and change that too much, because it's like, what's the point? They're just going to close it down again, which is a really negative way to.
Yeah, I don't really do much. I really, except for when there's like an event going on, and most of the time I don't even start doing the event on the first day. Sometimes I just do it like maybe 2 days in, unless it's Ultia. I do my best for my boy.
Yeah, I'm so mad that when I went over to the Japanese server, the first event was a Tokyo UR. And I was like, well, there's no way I can get that.
The Japanese players like...
I don't even care about tiering.
Go hard,
I'm like,
man.
I didn't even start to care about tiering until like, you know, towards the end, when it was like, okay, I think I have a good composition. I think I can really, you know, devote the time and energy to doing this. And then they went, oh, we're shutting down. And I was like, okay, so I guess I'm never really going to tier for anything.
I remember just feeling really happy being in like the 15% tier or whatever.
Oh yeah, I remember
that like, early, you know, like, oh man, that's awesome. This is as high as I can get. Cool. As long as I can get the damn UR.
Mm-hmm. I was happy to get it by points most of the time.
Sometimes we're at the point where like, okay, I got the UR, I'm done. But if I have anything left, okay, I'll do that to the bars at the end, and I'm done.
I just don't have that competitive spirit. Sometimes I wish I did, but you know, I'm like, if I can get the UR through points, then I'm generally happy.
I going back to the teams. Well, since I made I can't remember what all the names were, but they were all like suggestive names.
Oh my god!
Like, well, because like you couldn't like put like bad words into the game. So I would like put a space. But yeah, I remember like Ren's was extremely suggestive. For my team of him, and then like I forget what Ultia's was, but it was like it was hinting that I would be the dominant and be the submissive or whatever. Can't remember what it was because I was too lazy to screenshot all of that before they closed it, and I forget what Tokyo. Oh, I think Tokyo's was called like Tokimon or something like that. Tokimon for me, I think.
I mean, really, right? It's because of that sound effect that he does.
Oh yeah, I remember the very first time I heard that.
I dropped my phone when he did that. I'm like, what the? I was like, wait, what's that?
I remember when the game first launched in English and like everyone like is playing, and then like you get that noise for the first time, and everyone's like, oh my god,
right? Like, wait a minute. What's going on?
And then I'm like, yeah, that's like my favorite part of the game. And I always liked. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to highlight that old comment. I remember when like I heard Ren's whistle for the first time too. I was like, oh shit, I must be doing like real good. He's like whistling at me.
I still remember losing notes one time when Toki did one of his little sounds. It was like,
oh yeah, I always felt really bad when I would mess up, and then like it's just like they're silent at the end, like they don't say anything.
I hate that.
Yeah, oh, like man. You did not get that. He's like, you did
like,
not
they
get
don't even say like good job. It's just like silence and then the clapping. And I just remember being like, I'm so sorry. I've disappointed you all. You won't even say I did a good job at the very end. Because I fucked
you tried, that's it.
And I remember I would get so mad if I would get like a good. I'm like, fuck, I'm not gonna get the fucking ultimate combo. The main person on my team is not gonna say full combo or whatever.
Yeah, full
combo. And like I always hated that, or like I would miss like the last note and they're like you know, they're like,
Right.
oh, lasto, like it's the last one, like,
Yeah.
and then I'd fuck it up.
I hate
be like,
that.
oh,
Don't you hate it when you're okay?
bad.
Don't you hate it when you're playing either like it you know, it would either be hard or pro or master. Like you're going all ham on it, and you know you think without a shadow of a doubt that you are gonna get an ultimate combo. But no, you get a full one. You're like, I got a good. When did that happen?
That happens so much for me. I'm like, I didn't
good.
even hear that like different tones.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, like I would look.
Tone in the, yeah.
I'd look and I'd be like, I got one good. When did that happen? Or if I would miss something, I'd be like, I pushed the thing. I touched it.
Right? I touched the thing.
Made the noise.
Like,
why did it count it this? I don't understand. Or when it would say bad, I'm like, oh my, fuck you, game. Like I don't understand. It would just like it made me so mad, especially on a song that if I was like struggling so hard, or I'm like I forget which fucking S-Class song it was, but it was one of the S-Class like trio songs, and like it was just me doing like I think it was that one. Like me trying to do like
God, I love that beat map.
I think I was trying to do like
mode.
Hard. I think just trying to get hard mode.
I remember when I first got a combo from that one. I'm just like, oh my god, I did it.
It would make me so mad because I'd be like, I was doing so good on that stupid song.
Especially like if you get through a really difficult segment and you're feeling really happy with yourself, and then you miss something that's really like,
really
why did I not put my finger down right there? I saw the note; it was right there.
This is why you should never celebrate too early. You celebrate when that last.
Like you'd have a hold note
when that thing pops up, or
I hate when I'd have a hold note. I'd see the bar and I'd like just tap anyway, and it's like, why did I do that? Exactly. You were supposed to hold.
Exactly.
Yeah, or I would let go too early on like a hold note, or the slide notes.
Oh, the slides, God! Especially when there's a lot of slide notes.
Yeah. It's like, you know, I've gotten used to the to the slides, like being on the side of the, being on the side of it, and then there's those few where like the slide notes are like at the bottom, like it starts in the middle. I'm like, what is this?
Or the ones that go across the middle.
Yes,
like I feel like they should always be split half and half.
Those are the worst. I hate those.
Oh yeah.
I always loved.
I have small hands.
Right. I think one of my favorite beat maps from Shining Live was 2000% because I liked that it would spell out starish.
Yeah, I like that
thing on the beat map, and I'm like, oh, that's so cool. And then they would take that song away because there wasn't like a permanent song in there. I'd be like, put it back. I want to keep playing it.
Put it back.
I think it ended up in the demo CDs.
Yeah, it did.
I love Futari no Monogram. Oh my god.
Ooh. Does anyone have that one song that you just can't get a full combo no matter what you do?
Oh god!
Like no matter what mode you're on, it just won't let you win.
I have war flashbacks to Black Deja Vu.
Oh god, dude! When I first actually comboed that one on hard mode, oh my god! I thought I was being played or something. Like, what do you mean I comboed it?
And all of the Gekkadon songs, I love them. But oh my god! I think I managed to ultimate combo Licorice no Mori once.
Oh jeez.
Oh,
that beat map is fun though.
That one's super fun. Yeah. Every time that song would come back, I would play it as many times as I could. Same with Joker Trap, and then also with Lost Alice. I would do that one a lot because they're just so fun, and I really like them. I like the beat maps. They were so fun.
I think
so. RIP. RIP Shining Live English server. Okay, so let's move on. We have lots of topics. We have a little bit more that we need to talk about. So let's talk about the April Fool's thing.
Yeah, we haven't even mentioned that yet.
Yeah, let the fun begin.
So for those who are listening after this is over, and you don't know anything about that, you're like, "Well, April Fools? What do you mean?" So tomorrow is April Fool's Day. So like, what they like to do with Utapri, which they've done for years at this point, is they'll have, and it's other series do it too, but I love how Utapri does it. They do special events for April Fools. And with Shining Live, I mean, in the global server, they would do it too. Where like something is different about it, or it's like something silly. Like one year they were like fruit and vegetables. And
Veggie Pre.
Yeah, Veggie Pre, and like
that was fun.
That was really silly. One time they were like little chibi versions.
Mm-hmm.
That was the preview for Birth of Frontier, I think, on Shining Live.
So they do a lot of cool April Fool's stuff.
Yeah.
And as previously had talked about Gekigan Shining, one of the April Fool's things in like 2016 was the whole like Gekigan Shining like
being a thing, maybe.
Being a thing. People, and the Japanese fan reactions, we talked about that a few episodes ago. So if you want to hear that, go back a couple episodes. I think it's the second episode. Anyway, so the lovely Mimi, thank you so much for compiling all of this, because I was working today. I have work. I have a job. I adult. I couldn't compile.
I'm working on the job part.
I couldn't compile all this because they started tweeting a bunch of stuff like all day today, and I couldn't compile all of this. So Mimi is the one who compiled it all. Thank you so much, Mimi. I appreciate you. You're the real MVP for this. So
yeah, this is the first time I remember them doing something that has gone on for like every hour on the hour.
Yeah, I know.
Usually it's just like one big thing,
right?
I'm gonna go.
Oh, there was the perfume.
Yes,
which they did like with the nude, quote unquote nude photo shoot. There was the OnStars collab.
Oh, the Twitter breaker. What?
Oh my god.
Yes, I forgot. The Ensemble Stars collaboration was also an April Fool's thing.
That was fun.
And that's funny because some of the Utapri are also in Ensemble Stars.
Mm-hmm. Shotaro Maino.
Yes.
Maino and
Suave is in it.
Stormy's in it.
Yeah. So, okay, I just kind of compiled what she wrote down on here so you can see. Here's my lovely Google Doc. Anyway. Okay, so, and I have all the tabs open here, so at the top. I don't know if you can see that. You can't. You can just see my screen.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, that's good.
Anyways, so, first topic, Shining Live, and I put JP because there's only a Japanese server left. So in the Japanese server, the event that's going to go on is called Unreal Rebellion.
I do want to mention it has already started because it's April 1st already over there.
Yes, it's already April 1st in Japan. So, be aware of that. People listening. So the concept of this event, you are led to a house one day by a book, and you're then guided by the 11 guys around this mysterious mansion where things are decided by games. Thank you, Grammarly.
That's a mood.
New outfits and backgrounds were made for the event and are unclear at the moment if they will be permanent. So if you are thinking about, if you want to learn more, go into the... You can't read it unless you know how to read Japanese, so, good luck on the event.
Yeah, I think someone translated the story already.
Probably.
Wow, people are fast.
Yeah, really fast.
So here's a link. If you want to... Here's what it looks like. That's what the event thing looks like, the banner.
Yeah, they all have really nice costumes.
Mm-hmm. In
the
game.
Look really good.
So, yeah, I'm hoping that those will be permanent.
Okay, so the second thing is Shining Agency, which is just, the agency. If you go to utapri.com, it doesn't look like this. Let me see if I can share that screen. Okay. I hope they don't get mad at me for just sharing this damn screen.
I think
their
website.
It's a public website.
Please. No, it'll be fine. I think as long as you don't start show the videos and stuff.
Yeah.
When we mentioned.
Okay, so here is what, if you go to Utapri, .com, this is what the site looks like. So, and look, it's already... I translated it to English myself with my Google.
Amazing.
Absolutely.
So, 12
good job.
videos,
Good job.
1 per hour of 11 idols from Shining Office challenging various projects. Obviously, I did not translate this. This is just Google Translate. We will deliver the appearance of idols who challenge a wide variety of content throughout the 24 hours, such as individual projects, as well as unique combinations and group projects. Subscribe to the channel, blah, blah, blah. So then we got all the streamers. It has like, you know, their info or whatever. So we got everybody looking like they do in the games.
It seems like it's new art, basically drawn off of the old sprites.
It looks like the games to me, but like, yeah, it's okay. Anyway, so there you go. There's new pictures of all of the. They're not boys anymore. They're men.
They are.
They are men, and they look really good.
So that's what that looks like. Let me read what we put. So the YouTube channel, I'm gonna show it in a little bit. It's gonna be live for just one day, so it's already been live for like, you know, let's see how many videos are on here now.
It's been up since 11 a.m. my time, so 9.
Okay, so there are now 12 videos on the channel.
Yep.
So we got about 12 hours left.
Yep. So
of the channel being live, so you can go to the channel. I'm gonna share it right now. But hold on. So yeah, they're uploading a video once per hour. It's gonna be 24 videos, of course, 24 hours by the end of the day. They are not going to be archived, and if you download them and re-upload them, that's not allowed.
Don't do that.
So do not download the videos and do not re-upload them. You
can subscribe to the channel to keep the updates. So
yes,
you know, keep track of them if you want to do it that way.
Yeah, but just to be aware, once it's midnight over there, the next day the entire channel is gonna be down.
Again, it's April Fool's, so it's there for 24 hours. The concept of this is it's, you know, they're doing popular trends. So, and I'm gonna show you right now. I'm gonna show you in a little bit, but like they have like get ready with me. There's a recipe video. What's in my bag? There's nighttime routine.
And a tinted ASMR.
YouTube Natsuki went shopping.
YouTube challenge things, fun trend things.
Yeah, the latest one is high right now.
Unit videos are also going to be uploaded, so you get the different units. And then, starting from 6 p.m. local time to Japan, programs with 5-member units will be uploaded. Apparently, that's what maybe wrote down. So, I'm going to show you what the channel looks like. Again, you can't see what... I'm not going to show any videos.
Yeah, but we can
I don't want to get in trouble.
See the thumbnail.
Yeah, do that at your own discretion.
But here is the
Oh yeah, apparently I was like streaming the MMO he plays.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna put us on the screen so that way you know, hopefully I don't get in trouble.
No, you're fine.
Oh yeah, it's fine. I mean, it's just the channel, so it's not the video.
As you can see, here's like the intro video. Here's the first I was watching Ren's routine. And I was like, why if it's like a nighttime routine, why is his shirt on? Because he like canonically sleeps naked.
Well, it started with his shirt off.
Yeah, it ends with his shirt off too.
Yep. It starts and ends with his shirt off.
Meiji did ASMR. I don't know what Masato's thing is. I don't know what.
More like attempted.
Masato read a story. Momotaro.
Oh, so that's what that was. Okay.
Yeah, he did like all these voices and stuff. It was super cute.
Sure did What's in My Bag, like, because, you know, it's 2015.
Show had his own in there.
Cecil did a soup recipe video.
No, it's soap.
Oh, soap.
Yeah.
Why did I read? It looks like soup to me. I didn't click on it.
Handmade
soap.
I'm
dumb. It's soap. He made soap, okay? Ignore that I said soup. I'm dumb. I can't read.
We're retconning that. It never happened.
It's fine.
I can't read English. Clearly on the thumbnail. I don't know what this video is.
They did like a Fear Factor kind of thing.
Oh my god. Of course I was watching Tokia's. He's doing Get Ready With Me.
Tokia with the glasses. I'm not okay.
And of course he says,
"You look really good." Hello.
Of course he says in the video, "Get ready with me," and I was like, "Oh my god." Natsuki went shopping. I don't know what Camu and Cecil are doing here.
Yeah, that one went on just before we started, so I have yet to watch that one.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then,
the comments for that one.
I is streaming a game that he plays.
His MMO.
Yes.
Yep.
So, so far we have 12 videos, so there should be 12 more coming.
So we haven't seen Kamya Solo yet. Haven't seen Odia solo yet.
I can't wait for Odia.
I'm trying to figure out like what other YouTube challenges could they do, because it kind of reminds me of Idolish 7 did this like a couple years ago.
Oh yeah, the rabbit. Idolish 7's a rabbit tube ones. Those are
where they did that.
They were really good.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I will tell you guys, if you're watching, and you still have the chance to watch these videos, these are like static sprites. They don't move like the 3D models in Shining Light.
They do a little like up and down, back and forth, and they do change like the pose.
Yeah,
like they have multiple.
A bit.
Yeah, their expressions change. They blink. It's kind of like the game sprites. But they're not actually like 2D YouTuber type things.
Like I mentioned, it's not like the Idolish 7 ones where they were like actual like 3D models like moving around and stuff, which was really cool.
Yeah,
I guess this is April Fool's. These videos aren't going to be up forever, so that's probably also why they're like, yeah, whatever. We'll just do it that way. So yeah, you have at least 12 more hours to watch all these videos before they're gone.
Might as well make an alarm every hour.
Yes. So the next thing is the Raging Agency.
Oh yes, this is great.
Yay, the Raging one.
So for those that are unfamiliar, or if you can't remember what Raging Agency is, that is the rival agency that the group Heavens is on. It's Raging Otori. So if you go to utapri.com/sp/heavens, you get what is called like the Raging Supermarket.
It's really supermarket.
I'm gonna show you what this looks like. 1 second. Let me share my screen.
Oh, the new one's up. It's all starish. And
it
looks
is
like Quizpree.
Oh my god! I'm gonna have to watch that.
Are you serious?
Yes!
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to watch that later, even though I want to understand a single word they're saying. So here's the Raging Supermarket. Whoa. 1 day only. So you can do a little gacha fun game. I'm not gonna click on it because I don't want to.
Yeah, but they have all of these food products that are named after like the guy's songs. It's great.
So
here's Yamato's.
Here's Heavens, looking cute.
I love these chibis. They're adorable.
They're in order. Whoa, they're in order of color and number, like starish. What is Heavens? So then you got more. You can click on their official site and blog. Surprise! So you have this thing. You can click on it. I'm not going to click on it. Challenge. Here's the recommended items.
I didn't realize the red soda has the broken heart for the O's.
Yes. So you've got red soda. That's
HE's.
HE. Morning in the Sky coffee.
I love that song.
The 1 day reference, yeah.
Lovely Flakes.
Yep.
For Cutie Nuggies, Lovely Flakes, LOL. Blueberry Jam.
For AG.
This is AG. This is my boy Vaughn. Crazy Wave Potato Chips. Mecha Kucha. Crazy. I love that song. So cute. Over the top protein for Yamato. And Shield green soup and more. But you can't click on it.
Yeah, because they're
this is a site dedicated to April Fool's Day by Heavens.
Yay.
And you can share it online, apparently. Good for you. Good for them.
Yes.
Okay, so the next thing. So here's what the event. It's called Raging Supermarket. So during the event, you can pull from that little capsule machine to receive mini episodes at random. These mini episodes are essentially just a question and answer from the Heavens members. There are 12 questions or mini episodes per member for a total of 84 possible pulls. And a special present is advertised for those who are able to complete all 84. They also have display market merchandise specialized after each of the Heavens members, and these are not actually for sale, so you can't buy the potato chips. I'm sorry.
But I want to.
I know, right? I want to buy those chips. I mean, okay, look, so they might do this in the future because Utapri has that habit literally of bringing whatever April Fool's thing they do to life somehow.
This is true.
Somehow. So it's not impossible, okay?
And in like the videos that we've seen so far, like when Sho was showing everything that was in his bag, he was showing some of like the Metamorpho stuff from last year's, was it last year's April Fool where they were all dressed up as women?
Yeah, was it last year?
And there was nail polish and makeup and everything.
Was it last year or the year before? I forgot.
I think it might have been 2021, but I can't remember.
I can't. Time is a blur.
Yes, it is.
When they did the perfume, they eventually came out with like that seemed like a joke, but then they actually came out with the perfumes with the cards and everything. So it seems like this. So Tokyo's had a bento box. Someone's had like a bag. I think Show's had a bag that looked really cute. So it's possible that these are products that are in development, and it seems like it's something that we can keep an eye out for possibly in the future. We can't say ever for sure. This is speculation, but it does seem like they use April Fools for a test run. And like I said, with Shining Live with Birth of Frontier, we saw those cute little chibis, and then that ended up being the actual like big UR event that wasn't the anniversary that year. So it could happen.
It could happen, exactly.
And I really think like it would be super cute if they had like the heavens, even just the chibis on something. That would be fun.
That would be really cute.
Yeah.
So here's the last thing about April Fool's stuff.
Here we go.
Yeah, here we go. Mimi saved this for last, like when she compiled everything. She just posted it as unknown because we really I don't think anybody really understands what the hell this is.
Well,
I mean, in terms of like, I'm still kind of like, what the hell, what the fuck? Okay, so Uta no Princess Sama, Back to the Idol, or Back Pre for short. It's revealed. The concept of this is time travel, ? That's what she wrote. Don't quote me on that.
That's kind of the only indication of what we've had in Nagamatsu's tweets.
The story goes that these teen girls attend St. Sautama Girls Academy and become idols as they travel through time to various eras. From the About page, it seems that the Girls Academy functions similarly to the original Sautama Academy, in where the girls attend with the intention to pursue the performing arts and become idols. Wow, it sounds like fucking Love Live. Shining Productions is affiliated with the school as its respective entertainment agency. So I'm going to show what the Twitter looks like in a little bit. But there are two groups so far, Flower Candy and Silent Queen, and they both have 3 members. Silent Queen, there's a short lyric video for their song First Promise. It's on the project's YouTube channel, so you can watch that, I guess. There's an announcement that they're going to be holding auditions for Flower Candy members with more details to come. This might explain why there are no vocal tracks in the preview for their song. Preview music video for Flower Candy's members and the song. I guess tried translating it, like it's called like maybe roughly Back to the Heart. I'm gonna show you the Twitter in a little bit. So far, only the members of the group Silent Queen have Twitter profiles. And then Mimi wrote this at the bottom, which I'm just laughing. Something to note is the absolutely terrible general reception.
Yeah.
In summary, so far, these seem to be the main points for those opposed to the concept. The first one is seeing their money being spent to fund this project. Yeah, people don't want to spend money on this. Number 2, that this kind of quality isn't being given to the guys in general, aka Shining Live 3D models.
Thank you.
I'm not going to show any of the videos, but if you want to watch them, you can click on it and watch yourself.
But the fact that they made these videos,
they look really good.
They kind of look like the stuff in like Project Sakai.
Yeah, exactly.
And number 3, the use of the name Uta no Princess Sama, which is technically already a thing with the guys, and also because it places the fandom under an identity crisis by this project bearing the name Princess.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know what the fuck this is, but here is the Twitter. This is what it looks like.
For me, this is basically Utapri trying to pull when Idolmaster decided to bring guys into the project. Same thing with Bang Dream deciding to bring Argo Navis, the guys for the boy bands, into the project. So I'm just like, they really gonna do this? Are they really gonna do this route?
So here's
I feel like it has to be a joke.
I feel like it too. Yeah.
I hope so.
The fact that they have all this art already. The expense that must have gone into the videos.
So I'm not going to show that video because I don't want to get in trouble.
Yeah, I know. I mean, the videos are really good. I'll admit that.
Here's the characters. This girl from Silent Queen. This girl's in Silent Queen. This girl's in Silent Queen. You can click their Twitters if you want to and look at, I guess, what they have to say. This girl doesn't have a voice, apparently. She's from Flower Candy. This other girl's from Flower Candy. And this girl's from Flower Candy.
Yeah, so someone on Twitter actually pointed out that the girls are from Flower Candy are basically like the female girl versions of the Utapri mascots.
Yeah, they're much
Which
more.
Makes me feel a little better about that, but
they're definitely not. They are not analogs of the guys as women.
No,
right?
No, because if they were, they would look more like them. I feel like. So it's Onpun-kun. We got Penguin and Pio-chan.
Yeah.
Then I don't know what the hell.
A little bit about this, but I still think this is a joke.
I feel like it's. I hope it's a joke. I mean, we'll see tomorrow.
What? Yeah. Well.
Or after tomorrow, rather.
Well, if not tomorrow, then maybe sometime down the line, it'll either be mentioned again by the official Utapri or by this official Twitter or not.
I don't know. I'm also kind of like really confused. So yeah.
It seems like they put a lot of effort into it, and obviously, you know, it had to cost a fair amount to have those videos made. Mm-hmm. Because if you do watch them, it's like the full 3D model animation and it's good quality. So that is what makes me think that it might be leading to a future project. But like I was saying before, so many times it seems to be like a test run for later products. If this is a test balloon for, you know, a future project, they've already gotten a bad reception. I don't think they're going to like.
I don't think they should go through it. Just like that one comment said, like they're going to put all that effort and money into something like this when they could just be using it, you know, for Utapri.
Yeah.
Already.
Well, we keep talking about how we want to see more Utapri MVs. Like I love the movies and I'm glad that we've gotten them, but they could have so many songs.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
They do a full or even a partial movie for I'd be happy with, like with Star Wish. But you know, if they want to continue to invest in Utapri, I'd like to see more time and effort invested in that.
Yeah,
if not, let us know that, you know, this is winding down, because I'd rather, you know, I'd rather know. I'd rather just not have a cutoff and be like, or go on an indefinite hiatus and then never hear back from it again and always be wondering. Just like
just like them come, like we rather know ahead of time, or like, you know, they're going to be a hiatus, but you know, they might be back, you know, bigger, better than ever, you know, something like that, or, you know, not come back at all, you know, we rather know.
I also just don't like that. I don't like that they're kind of like, oh yeah, we're just gonna like put out something new and not really tell you exactly, like it's a secret. Like, okay, if you're making a new thing, it's supposed to be like under the Utapri banner or whatever, like just say so.
Exactly.
Like, my thing is like, if this was real and legit, why would they announce it with all the April Fool's stuff?
Well, because like that happens all the time with like even with like, you know, with other projects too. Like they'll put something out that you like you don't think it's gonna be real, but at the same time it could be real. Because, you know, Obey Me did the same thing when they put The Boys animated, and they're just like, okay, wait, is there gonna be an Obey Me anime, or is this just a joke? But you know,
you're right about that. When they had the little like the thing for that. And then it turned out like they were making an anime, but like, oh, it's only 5 minutes long each episode. Like, okay. And like, you know, I was happy with that. I loved that. But with Utapri, I'm just kind of like, you know what I want more of? I want more music. That's what I want.
Exactly. Yeah. We want more MVs, and you know, other projects are doing it too. You know, Isle of Seven is doing this forever. You know, Ensemble Stars is doing it because, you know, because when they started having their own music game and stuff, you know, Project Sekai, and then you know, with their new game for Idolmaster Side of Growing Stars, they started finally getting MVs for their songs, because they've never gotten MVs before. Only the girl branches have. So it's like Utapri's been out since, you know, forever. So
2009.
2009, yeah.
It's like 13.
When are we getting some more? Because like the others, they're really good, and the Dandies are either the full version or like TV size version or game version, but still, it's something.
It feels like
for the other ones.
To me, it almost feels like Utapri it was the flagship, it was the original Idol show. It's kind of stuck in the past. It has not, moved forward with the times. And I understand that music videos and everything take a lot of time. They take a lot of effort.
Right.
But, and they also take a budget, but also there's still clearly an enormous fandom, especially in Japan, that people were fighting in the streets over tickets because they wanted to get spelling out their idols' names or whatever with the ticket, with the row that they were in or whatever. It's still in theaters over there. There's the Anime Cafe that just opened was completely mobbed. The lines were ridiculous. They're still selling like hotcakes. There's no excuse for them not to kind of keep moving forward and innovating.
Exactly. And the fact that they did those 2 videos with the whole Princess Sama thing, just
it's irritating.
It's irritating. It's like, you guys kind of just proved our point that you can do more of these. Like, not just waiting for the new songs to come out, but you could do them for the ones that have been released since like way back when.
Yeah, I mean
2009, 2010. Yeah, I want some music videos, man.
Exactly.
Give some love to some of the theme songs and some of the CD, the like quote unquote B-sides, like the second songs on the CDs.
Right, exactly. And and I wouldn't mind having like a different MV for like the songs that were featured in the anime, because they were good.
Where's
my music video for Independence? God damn it,
bro! Secret Lover.
Oh my god!
Secret Lover.
I'll tell you. You know what? really made me cry was like finally getting the Blu-ray for Stars Tours and seeing the Modulo 10%, because like finally getting to see them all perform it together, and like they're all doing the choreography, and it's all like the camera's moving around them. It's not as static as it was.
Right.
Like the animation was fine back then for what it was, but it's like getting to see that now. I would love to see like an updated version of the opening songs or the the theme songs for each season.
I want to see a redo of 2000%.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You know what I'd love to see is Golden Star.
I would like to see Golden Star as well as Magic of Legend Star, because
Legend Star,
because in the anime we thought that was going to be the song that they were going to perform at the at that Triple S competition thing, we are stars instead. So it's like, okay, this is different.
Yeah,
this is great,
I liked kind of
the Legend Star.
I kind of like the way they switched that up unexpectedly, but at the same time, it's like I still want to see those songs animated.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Exactly.
Same. I remember like the first time I watched Legend Star, and I was like, "Wait, this isn't the end. Like, why is it the ending song, but it's not the song they performed at the concert?" Like they pulled that old switcheroo.
Yeah,
which was so great, because then when you did hear "We Are Stars" for the first time, it was like, what is this?
Oh my god! This is amazing.
I want an official music video for Godstar. God damn it!
That would be so great.
That would be,
as I've said before on this podcast, that is like, I think that's the best Quartet Night song
because it is, because you heard you heard it in the anime, and you're just like, this is great.
Yeah, and then you hear the full song, and you're like, "Oh my god!"
And then you get the full song.
I've had a religious experience listening to this damn song.
Dude, that was my ringtone for like a good long time while I was in college. That song made me get up in the morning.
It's one of those things where I would never man.
And of course, I would never snooze it, because like it's Godstar. I'm not going to interrupt Godstar. This is my song. Let's go.
But yeah, so that's the April Fool's thing for this year. We'll see what happens. I mean, obviously, like, most of the stuff is going to be gone after April Fool's is over in Japan, or April 1st is over in Japan.
Yeah.
So in like 12 hours, or less than 12 hours at this point.
People have taken plenty of screenshots on Twitter by now, so
yeah, so
and we still get to see what happens if you miss anything.
Yeah, so enjoy the sites and everything while they're still up, because they're gonna change back to what they were before, and then of course the Shining channel is gonna be gone.
Yeah.
Maybe just the videos. I don't know. Maybe they'll just delete the whole channel.
Well, I'm really hoping they leave the videos up at least a little bit longer, because it's like, do they really expect everybody to stay up for a full 24 hours? I guess they expect.
I feel like they do. Their fans go hard in Japan.
Yeah, I'm about to say, considering how hard they go on Shining,
I feel like
I'm going to say yes.
I'm sure some of those people missed school all day and stayed home just to refresh the page every 2 seconds. Who knows? I don't know. That's what I would do. So if you guys want to learn more about the April Fool's thing,
go to the Twitters, I guess.
What?
Yeah, I'd say go to the Twitters too.
Yes, go to the Twitters. I don't know why I couldn't hear what she said. Anyway, so I was like, "What?"
Sorry, I had to keep muting myself because my older cat woke up and started yelling.
No, it's all good.
Yeah, we noticed. It was saying hi.
So yeah, if you guys are curious, people listening, excuse me. I don't know, would the Wayback Machine work? If you could look at the site.
I don't know, actually.
I don't know. You could try, see if that happens. I don't know. I don't know if it'll archive it. But you can always try and see what it looked like years ago. So that's the April Fool's stuff. So if you guys are curious, go ahead and check it out. Go to the official Utapri Twitter and fall down a rabbit hole about April Fool's. Now it's bonus time.
I just want to say one thing about this one.
Yes.
Like I said in the past, it tend to be just kind of like one hit of whatever's going on, and then we kind of have the next day to analyze it and figure out. The Black Garden thing from Heavens was like a whole visual novel, and that was only up there for like 48 hours, which was frustrating.
Yeah.
But this one has been really nice because like it's being doled out in chunks over the day, and we're actually getting to see the boys talking and interacting with each other, and like there's actually like this content that has been so nice to take in that I've really missed just seeing them be them.
Yeah.
Even if it's not like in a natural environment, even if they're still performing a little bit, it's still them. And it's just like, it's not on a stage. It's not, interacting with fans. It's just them. And so it's been such a pleasure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
I really missed just them. And I didn't realize how much until they started doing these. So I'm so glad that they chose this format this year.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, same. Maybe the people at Broccoli were like, "Oh shit, Idol 7 already did it. Let's just do it, I guess."
And who knows? It might lead into something that could, be like maybe how they are. You never know.
Hopefully, I hope so, because I feel like
it's a way they pull. They just, let's drop this. Here you go.
Exactly.
They don't. There's no announcement. They just drop it like, hello.
Yeah. I like Mimi's comment here. Never forget.
We were talking about it earlier, Mimi.
No matter what.
Mimi, I had to drag Alan into it somehow.
It was inevitable. It was going to happen anyway.
Yeah,
so bonus time, super quick. The bonus time is really just me like acknowledging, and it was brought up by Mimi, I believe, to talk about news in the Utapri world fandom that has happened between episodes of this podcast.
Right. Oh yeah. Yeah.
So the first thing is obviously the April Fool's thing, because April Fool's is tomorrow.
Right.
History is repeating itself. LOL.
You can say that again.
Time is a flat circle.
Right.
So yeah, that's why I wanted to touch on that. But again, that is something that has happened technically between episodes, and it's gonna go away after tomorrow. Technically, well, yeah, tomorrow is gonna end in Japan sooner than here, obviously.
Yeah.
And then we had birthdays within the series, but also Seiyu birthday. So I believe it was the 27th is Suabe's birthday.
That sounds right.
Yeah, I think so.
Not me, just
or is it
clicking
the
on the wiki
29th?
to see.
I can't fucking remember. Hold on. I quote-tweeted something.
Yeah, I know. I retweeted
the 29th.
I can't remember.
Okay, it's the 29th. My bad.
Yeah,
Okay, it's the 29th.
I went and looked on the wiki.
It's the 29th.
It is the 29th.
Not bad. It was 2 days ago. So it was his birthday. So happy birthday, Suabe. Thank you for all you do. I already said that on Twitter.
Yes, thank you for existing.
I love this man. We'll do a future episode on him, and I'll gush about how much I love him. Because he says happy birthday every single fucking day. So you know what? He deserves the day for people to say to him.
I just love his birthday tweets.
The fact that he keeps track of like when all of the Utapri characters' birthdays are, and like he posted on Victor's birthday and Yuri's for Yuri on Ice, and all of those made me so happy.
Any project that he's in, he'll make a really special one just for them, and that's his dedication right there. I love it.
Yeah, so or if something has been announced for Utapri. And it's like on that day he'll like make it like a Starish theme or whatever.
Yeah, he's like one of the first people.
When the DVD came out, or the came out for Starish Tours.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like first people to do it.
Or again, like I mentioned way earlier, that he's in Kuroko no Basket. When it's Aomina's birthday, he does like a basketball theme. He did that last year. I'm sure he'll do it again this year. And for other characters too. So I love that. I like it. I love the themes. I think it's super cute. And if you go to his Instagram, it's literally all happy birthday pictures. And you just scroll. That's what his Instagram is. It's really funny.
I also still love that his Twitter icon after all this time is still Zero.
Oh yeah, his dog.
Yeah,
so cute.
Zero's a good dog.
So that was the Seiyu birthday that happened in between episodes, and then character birthdays within Utapri, Yamato from Heavens.
Yamato.
So it was his birthday as well. When was his birthday?
30th.
Yesterday. 30th. Okay, it was yesterday.
Yep, 30th, yeah.
So his birthday was yesterday. So, we got the big strong man from Heavens.
Yep.
I like Yamato.
Mm-hmm.
He's cool.
Yeah, he is.
I like that protein shake or whatever.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yes, well, he needs the world to know. Happy birthday! Exactly. It's always somebody's birthday.
I still remember in the last episode of season 3 when the new brand Heavens made their appearance, and when they were introducing himself, and he said Hyuga Yamato, and I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah,
everybody was
like, wait,
what? And then you're like,
I'm like, wait, what do you mean? I'm like, oh my god, he's related to Hyuga Sensei.
So apparently they'd only just made reference to the fact that Ryuya had siblings in one of the games, and that was like all of the information that was available. So to actually have one of them show up in the series was fantastic.
Well, and I like his dynamic with Sho, like they're like equivalents or whatever. Yeah, I like them fighting each other and singing at the same time in boxing gloves and stuff. Yeah, I think it's great.
The most shonen thing.
It is. It's super funny. I love the performance of that in the 6th stage.
Oh yeah,
that was
really cool.
Getting to do the wire work was fantastic.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So I enjoy that, and well, I'm gonna do this from now on because like I wasn't, and now I'm like, okay, yeah, there's character birthdays, and I kind of been slacking on that, but that's okay. I'll do it from now on.
So last year I tried to draw all of the guys on their birthday or something for their birthday, and I slacked and I missed a couple, which I was mad about. But half the time it was like because I was paying attention going by the wiki. and just the dates on the front page. And I would update those at the first of the month. And that was like, oh, shoot, H's is on the 1st. And I'd completely forgotten. So I forgot to draw something for him. But it can be hard to remember. Because there's so many of them. Because not only do we have the 18 idols, but we also have, Hyuga and Ringo and Satome and Raging, although I don't think we know when Raging's birthday is. But it's like there's so many characters to keep track of.
Then we have Tomo and Haruka.
Well, Haruka we don't have.
Haruka doesn't have an official birthday, but
Yeah, somebody actually tried to put that. That was one of those things that was so random because someone tried to add that to the wiki, and it's like, no. We had to go back and find like the original pages with the character information to be like, she doesn't have a birthday, and that's because
she does have. Yeah, like she has a. Well, yeah, she doesn't have an official birthday, but she has an unofficial birthday.
Right, but it's like we can only, and this was actually something I was going to talk about with the wiki, is like we can only have official stuff on there. So it's like if you have a source, perfect. If you don't have a source, we can't link it. I mean,
it'd be great to put that on the notes and stuff.
I think it's on the style guide. I'll have to check because there are guides on what information is appropriate to add, because we can't add fan art. We have to be careful with like people were trying to add their OCs, and I talked about that. And it's like that is
guys, that's really cringe. Don't do that.
I mean, if you're making them, obviously you talked about it on the last episode, and all of that stuff is great to do, but don't put it on the wiki.
Yeah, exactly,
there's so many other places that you can create a page for your character, and do everything that you want to do with your fan art and writing and everything. Use the resources that are available. The wiki can only be for official stuff.
Exactly, like the wiki's for official stuff. So like putting your OC on there.
No.
What?
Please don't.
Yeah. Then everyone has to put their OC on.
Yeah, and we're not going to do that. I'm going to be like right now. I'll be like, I'll shut the whole goddamn thing down if I have to. I'd have no chill.
And of course, then there's me. Like I'm trying to going through all the videos and stuff that people have uploaded on the wiki. I either upload new ones, take down ones that have nothing to do with Utapri, or replace old ones because they were.
Oh, that's right.
Weren't they taken out for copyright or whatever?
Weren't there free videos on there?
There were free videos on there. There were Persona on there. What else?
Oh my god!
What else is on there? I don't know. I mean, the only credit I give for those being on there is the fact that some of the Seiyu are in those franchises.
Oh my god!
But it's just not Utapri. That's not Utapri, guys.
Yeah, I'm like, there's a wiki for free. There's a wiki for Persona.
Yes, there
Go
is.
There.
Persona thing is huge, guys. It's there.
Don't put your OCs on there. You can do it. Make a Twitter account for your OC.
Yeah, you can make it.
Then you can make that however you want and run it however you want. Make it look nice, or make a Tumblr.
Yeah,
I still have an old Tumblr.
I still have an active
Tumblr.
Because I put a lot of my fan art up. So I'm like, that is an excellent place for it, And I say embrace, all of these things. Don't just embrace them in the appropriate place.
Exactly.
Yes.
Don't make our lives hard, and don't make our lives harder than it already is.
Exactly.
Yeah, just we mentioned in the last episode about Yuma stuff. Enjoy it the way that you want to. Make a Twitter or a Tumblr or whatever. Share your fan art. That's fine. That's not the cringy part. The cringy part is you making a wiki page for it with official stuff, and because Pam showed me a screenshot of what someone had done with their OC thing, and then they had put down what they call every other character, and I'm like, okay, why is that? One, if it was okay to put your OC on here, why is this information relevant? Who cares?
It's important to you, and I totally get that, and I am 100% here for it.
Right.
It's just this.
Why don't you just put it on your own page instead of not on the just put it on your wall, not on the actual wiki itself.
Yeah, it's not the place for it.
Yeah.
If just think about what you're doing before you do it, and if it doesn't seem like
there's a time and place for everything, and that is not it.
Yeah, like even now, it's just like you can make a Discord server for yourself and just upload all your stuff there.
Exactly. Like there's do you know how many Discords I've seen for people just for their OCs? Like it's amazing.
Yeah, and I have one myself that actually Discord is great for hosting images. So like if I want to draw something that I want to put in a fanfic on AO3, that's where I can put it. And I can save all the information, and you can make categories for either for different characters or for like all the information that you want to make up about them or whatever. It's perfect. That is the absolute perfect place for it. But yeah, just not on the wiki itself.
I agree, Mimi. Wrong venue for it.
Thank you, Mimi.
Well, the other thing is like Megan and Boo mentioned last episode, for some people like that stuff's like it's like a private thing.
Exactly.
Like there are certain aspects of it that like you keep private. So like why you would put the whole thing on a fan wiki.
Right, and I get it. People like to share. People don't mind sharing all that stuff, but there's a time and place for that stuff.
Yeah, and like not everybody else is interested in it. Your character is very important to you, and I am here for it. But I cannot feel the same enthusiasm for your character because it's not my character.
So it's not an official character. So it's
that too.
Yeah, exactly.
I come to the Utapri Wiki to like look for official information.
Yeah, look up information and get up to date because stuff happens a lot, especially around the anniversary time.
We're already gearing up.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun in a couple of months.
Yeah,
I can only imagine what they're gonna spit out this year.
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to it again. And we'll talk about it in a future episode when the anniversary happens, because I do want to go over like how they've done things with the anniversaries and such. But I think with that said,
the short version of that is basically there's going to be these events going on. There's going to be all these collabs going on. Here's some new merch, possibly some new music. Oh, and that appreciation tweet to all the overseas fans.
Yeah, that about sums it up.
One small acknowledgement.
Didn't they used to do like
have more than that for once, please?
Didn't they used to have like the same number of events or whatever as there were, like if it was the 10th anniversary, there were 10 tweets type of thing?
Yep.
But now we're up to 13, so I don't know. I guess we'll find out.
Yes, we will.
We'll find out.
We'll find out, and
when they announce something.
We will find out, and we will get on that website once, if we're able to get there, because every year the thing crashes because everyone's just like, oh my god, let's go view this.
And everyone who isn't on there is refreshing frantically and forcing the server to overload even more.
Exactly.
Well, with all of that said, and we've been streaming for 2.5 hours.
That's not bad.
I do want to just say thank you once again to both Pam and Ruby for joining and giving insight on the wiki. And we got to learn some cool stuff on how the wiki is edited and everything. And it looks great. It looks awesome.
Well, thank you so much. And seriously, thank you for having us.
Yeah, it's been really fun. And, now this shows that, other people that, hey, it's alive again. For people that haven't
even though
check because it's been dead for so long.
I saw some comment not too long ago, definitely after I had inherited it, that was like, it really sucks that nobody updates the Utapri Wiki anymore. And I was like, oh, fuck you. Like all of this, I you know what, I'm gonna go look at my user page right now. But honestly, it's like there's just been so much effort and so much work that's been put into it. And like the overhaul to the main page, and then all of the new pages that have been added. I have made 2,310 edits, 2 of which were today.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Well, honestly, it doesn't help that like the original people who made it put together, added in like this achievement system, so you can actually earn points by editing. And
I mean,
weirdly, it's not up there anymore. I'm looking at activity now.
Oh, really?
I wonder if that got blocked somehow. But like there was like a top. There were like I was in the top 3 editors, and the first 2 were the people who created the wiki. I was like, someday I'm going to get up there, and I'm going to be in number 1. And I was like, nobody better get between me and number 2.
You're number 1. You're number 1 in our hearts.
Yeah, I've really, you know, I appreciate that people do recognize the effort that we all put into it, because it like I said, it does take a lot of work, and it does take more mental energy than you would think.
Well, and you kind of have to realize, like, you know, when you look at a fan wiki page, it's like, yes, somebody like sat there and made that. Like, someone sat there at their computer and like edited that.
Yeah,
they didn't just copy paste.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. And
well,
you know,
hopefully
all the
they
English
didn't
stuff is like fan translated.
Oh yeah, like I give so many props to like Rain and Helu, and Res did some translation for us, and all of the people who came before, like in Moonlight Sanctuary and Utagoe on Tumblr.
Moonlight Sanctuary, yes.
Moonlight Sanctuary did the bulk of like most of the translations through 2015. What's really funny is there's a person who still comments on her live journal, even though she has ceased translation a long time ago, and still asks for updates for various songs. And I'm like, you know, you're the only person commenting and you're never getting any response. Maybe you should take the hint. But like the fact that they spent all that time, you know, for free, just you know, out of the kindness of their heart.
Right.
And there's like Ryota Kun's translations, who's done a bunch of the drama CDs, who did fan subs for a bunch of Gekidan Shining. You know, like, and then the people who did the fan subs for the lives, which I do want to get to you still. Like, all of these people have contributed to the fandom, and I don't think they always get the recognition they deserve either. So I just, you know.
They really don't. And, you know, it takes time, like, because they're taking time out of their lives and, you know, whatever they're going through at the moment, just so they can do this for free. Like they should be paid to do this stuff.
They're
but
seriously,
they're
yeah.
Like the fact that they're doing this like just for other fans.
Exactly. They do it for the love of the project, of the series.
Right.
And yeah, there's no way that I can thank them enough for contributing. But you know, the fact that we still have people who are working on it too is also fantastic. So yeah, thanks to everybody who has contributed in ways large or small. There's somebody who I don't actually know who just has been putting a lot of the Romaji up on like all the Star Tours songs, and like they just come out of nowhere, like they've been, you know, grabbing the kanji and then doing their romaji and then disappearing into the night again. And I'm like, who was that masked person?
Right. This is
so yeah, it's
you get the help in the most unexpected places.
It's true. But yeah, I really do. I really am. I'm glad that I took this project on, even though it has been a lot over almost 2 years now.
Oh geez, yeah.
Yeah. Well, June, because it was June 4th, I think. So it's going to be almost 3 years.
Nice.
God.
So yeah, the wiki is basically, you know, just finding out more information, keeping up with news,
and then you know, we still have
something new.
We still have a task list of stuff that needs to be done, like updating those templates and, you know, fixing out some of the other weird coding issues that pop up here and there. But for the most part, at least it's up to date.
Oh yeah, we should also add in that that Utapri News Twitter thing that Boo made.
Oh yes, that's not part of the wiki, but it is a really nice thing that she's doing to, you know, let people know about merch that, you know, if you're not totally aware of what's going on, it's like she's explaining it. She's explaining where to get it. It's like, God, thank you so much, because that is still a struggle for me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Basically, just like merch and news, especially in depth with the merch, because you know, the many additions.
They like to just kind of go, here's a page with a million new things. And you have to navigate it and try and figure it out.
Exactly. And then we have, with Twitter, account that, that Megan's also working with, they explain everything. So then it's like easy for, us to understand. It's like, okay, so I know I'm definitely going to get this edition because this has the the special thing from the character that I like.
Right. It's like, I know I need to go to Animate to get this, or I need to go to Amazon.co.jp to get that, or whatever.
Right, or CD Japan, or, Ami Ami.
Exactly. So that is invaluable if you're searching for merch. And what is it, Utapri Star News or something like that?
Yeah, that's what it's called, yeah.
Yeah. So definitely follow them if you are interested in keeping up with merch releases.
Yeah, definitely, guys, if you ever want, this is for the chat, but also for future guests or, people who've already been on here. If there's anything you want to share, like the news, Twitter, or anything like that, just to help other fans, like, understand what's going on or how to get merch or whatever, like, if you don't know where to start, like, I can always tweet out the links or put them in the description of, like, every episode from now on if you want to. Just let me know. So that way I can add them, and so that way, people are able to keep up with stuff.
Yeah, because there's many ways to get merch now.
For sure. It's a lot easier now than it was before.
God knows, yeah.
Yes.
And even then, it's still difficult sometimes.
It's still, it is still difficult.
It is.
But at least we have, people who are experienced in using forwarders or purchasing sites or proxy buyers.
That help guide.
So, you're not alone if you're struggling to try and find something.
Yeah, because, I have a forwarder and I have like 3 proxies. Yeah, because I mostly, for forwarding addresses, I usually use like, Tenso or Biden. But then sometimes I just use Sue Young, who is like the biggest
Sue Young is the best
person on Twitter.
Oh my God, Sue Young is so nice.
Like, she's
honestly.
the best.
Like, she knows that I'm a Rentoki person, and so she was like, I have an extra copy of this one Dojin if you want it. And I'm like, thank you so much.
Right. I still remember, I still remember one time where someone had bought something OTO related that I didn't originally ordered, and so she's like, "Hey, this person hey, let this person pay for this," but then I never got back to it. Do you want it? And I'm like, oh, okay, sure. And then if you're going through like some money stuff, because we got money to use somewhere else other than merch, like, she'll hold on to it for you as long as she can.
Yeah, as long as you've been like good about paying her on the regular with other stuff, because obviously if you've abandoned a bunch of stuff, then that's not cool.
Yeah, then that goes, but then that goes straight to her little Utapri shop.
Yeah.
where I've got most of my Tokia and Ren badges from. I need to get more badges. Not the other boys, because it's mostly Otea.
Yeah, Mimi, I highlighted your comment here. I definitely feel like in the future I'll make a list. So if I'll have to ask Boo and Megan for the links for that stuff. But I'll try to make sure that that's in the description of every video, and I'll go back and edit the previous episodes to put all that info in there. Just so it's easier for people to, again, navigate, like you said, where they want to start in terms of like, and I'll even link the wiki too.
Yes, please check it out.
It's
alive and running.
If you don't know where to start with Utapri, and you've like barely watched the anime, or like you played Shining Live before and you miss it or whatever, I would say I'll put in the description in the future links for all of that stuff, so you can kind of start your own journey however you want.
Yeah, and the nice thing is, like, we've tried to update like the character bios and things too, so those aren't just like stuck in season 3 or whatever. even if we don't have current information, it's about as current as we can get for it. And then we also have affiliates because we have the Shining Live Wiki affiliated. So that has, all of the information up through the end of at least through the end of the English server. I don't know about more recent stuff, but they did, they're still putting up stuff that they had gotten, because there were still like stories and things that had not been included yet. So they're still updating. And then we also are affiliated to the Shining Wonderland Wiki, which does the translations for the first game for All-Star. So, and they're still working, even if they're a little bit slower than they were. So, it's a good starting point for all kinds of Utapri information.
Yeah. Because, as previously said in previous episodes, the Utapri verse is real. You're going to start somewhere.
It really is. And you can really start anywhere.
Pretty
honestly.
much, yeah. Yeah, we got the music, we got the games, we got the anime, we have the lives, we have the stage plays.
And you can pick and choose what you want to enjoy from it too, because we've commented that there's really no specific one true canon, because you've got the games, but you've also got a different route for each guy. So whichever route you choose to be canon, the games don't really dovetail with the anime. The anime is kind of its own canon. The Shining Live games could consider to be separate from that. So, you have a lot of information that you can also play with as you choose, and it's not all set in stone.
Yeah, exactly. Because when you start off with, one way to get into Utapri, then it opens the door to the others.
So you have different things you can enjoy. And then there's Gekkidon, which is its own universe.
Yes, exactly. And, that was one of the best doors they could ever open.
God knows. I'm forever grateful that, even though we still want, is Shining Masterpiece Theater the one that hasn't been done yet?
Yes.
Yeah. We still want it.
Yes,
we
still
do. Demand it.
And Mimi's happy about it in the comments that we made.
I'm
Mimi has been manifesting that.
I am not joking.
Long time.
I would stab a man to see Lycoris no Mori.
Me too.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, yes.
Ever since I first saw the art for it, and I was like, how come nobody told me Toki's a werewolf? I need it.
Oh my god.
So we will continue to agitate for that.
It'll probably happen eventually, maybe. You never know.
We can but hope.
Yes, that's literally all we can do. We can hope and, not think about it, and all of a sudden, oh, here you go, because, Utapri, they just drop
they do like
whatever,
to do that.
They just drop whatever they feel like.
Whenever they want.
Pretty much, yeah.
Mimi's ready.
Yeah. So
yes, you are right, yes.
The art for all the Gekkidon, even for just the drama CDs to begin with, was just like that Chinatsu art that I live for.
It's so good.
It is perfection.
Absolutely.
Well, is there anything else that y'all want to say before we end this episode? Do you have anything you want to link, plug, other than the wiki? Like, where can people follow you or talk to, enjoy your...
I want to say follow my art Twitter, except I don't know if Twitter's still going to be around in 5 days.
Oh, right, because of that.
Yeah.
Well, you never know.
It is to hope, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, my art Twitter is the same as my regular one. It's just Skywild with art at the end, literally. So, if you want to see that, and I do put the Utapri stuff at the server. If you're not in the Discord server, we would be happy to have you. We have a very active and fun group of people in there, but you can also just lurk and be quiet. And we usually try to keep up with announcements of what's happening. People
we
every hour.
We literally went on voice chat 5 minutes before the April Fool's thing started.
They did, yeah. And we were talking about before, we do the streams, so those have been a lot of fun to kind of have the community participate in. if you haven't seen any of the plays or the lives, we are working our way around. And probably once I get done with the lives, I'm just gonna go back to the first one and start over again. So
yeah, for anyone who who missed it, because guys, seriously, the Seiyu lives are just an experience. Like
they really are.
It really is they really are an experience. You have to kind of like,
because that's literally the way how I got into Seiyu Hell, and I am grateful for those.
Yeah.
I still, like I said before, seeing the first one on YouTube was just this massive revelation. So I was into boy bands back in the 2000s, when NSYNC was popular and Backstreet Boys and all that. And so, but it was a shameful thing. Like if you liked that stuff, you were just this gross. I was not a teenager, but you were considered to be a teen. Oh, you're just a little girl and liking that stuff and none of that. And to see these guys actually like appreciating their own work and loving what they do and loving the characters and the music and not having any shame at all, despite the fact that this franchise is aimed toward women, is what really got me. Like, this is such a great attitude. This is so refreshing. It could just be a paycheck for them, but it's not.
I like how when you watch the lives from the beginning to now, you just see how the production value goes up.
Absolutely. It just they just get better every live, and it's amazing. And it's amazing,
and bigger and bigger too. The first one is a 2,000 person hall, and then they're in the MetLife Dome.
Right, MetLife Dome, and this it's yep, that's how big we become.
Once you see that they get really nice costumes from the third and fourth lives, you're like, okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure they were just going into their closets for the first one.
Oh yeah. The first one they're all wearing jeans.
They're just
because Kenichi has those weird short, not shorts, but
and everyone's hair is really weird in the first live.
And Mambo's hair was so long.
It's so long.
It was.
It makes him look even taller.
Yeah,
and then you watch the more recent lives, the 6th and 7th lives, and you're like, oh my god, he really went all out with the costumes.
They've all evolved in terms of showmanship too.
Yeah, and you just see just how big it's getting. But if I had to pick one of my favorite things about watching the Utapri lives, is how every year there are more and more male fans in those crowds. Yes. Oh my god! And
when they started dressing them,
and then because in the first stage, it wasn't a notch in the main one, but in one of the back stages, someone mentioned that, oh my god, I'm pretty sure I heard a male voice in the crowd, and then two guys
and then Shotaro starts going my girl and my boy, and then Suave starts going gentlemen and ladies.
Yeah.
And then when Tori-san was like my prince, and they're like, no, that's weird. That's weird.
I mean, it kind of
Mino looked so nervous that first time when he was in the second stage. Tori-san looked terrified in the first stage.
He was so baby.
He was so baby.
And then you see him now, and you're like, oh yeah, it's
and it's just is this the same? It's is this the same guy from the second live?
It's really hard to believe. Plus, it was so cool because it's you see some of them are very natural entertainers, and some of them really are just happy to stand there and sing. Mino works so hard, and you can see how hard he works in the choreography, and I really appreciate that.
And he is, and I've said it already, he is the biggest Kamyu fan.
Oh my god, nobody is a bigger Kamyu fan than Mino.
Exactly.
Exactly. I love looking at how many rings he's wearing each one,
and the time
he's always got a Prince parka,
and then the contact lenses, and I'm just dude, I hate contact lenses, but oh my god, the fact that he did that just for Kamyu.
Yeah. It is really
well,
wonderful.
And I like in the lives when they'll mention oh, it would be cool if I had this, and then the next live they get what they want.
Yeah, they did that.
Like, I love that. I love like
in the fifth one when Tori-san's saying, you know what would be really cool is if there was like a black cat on stage and then the smoke came up
and then I appear. And
yeah,
then, like, the next time they did that.
They did it.
Like, you know, that part, I'm like, oh my god, they did it.
Yeah, you're like, they fulfilled his wish. Or when Monica was like, it'd be really cool if I could like if my microphone was like a maraca, and then next year, like,
and then they gave him the
microphone is so cool.
And I love like when Mamo goes up and dances with the dancers in the second one, because you know that he was restraining himself from doing that in the first one, and it's like the fact that he did the whole choreography and was like totally into it. I just really love how he puts his everything into his performances.
And Mamo,
oh yeah, I mean, if you've
just let the man dance.
Have you seen his own concerts? They're like, oh my god.
I think the oldest one I've seen, not Generating. I think the one before Generating. The oldest content I've seen is when he actually performed Majilov Simpson.
Oh yeah,
and I think that was before the first live.
From that one, I'm just
and it's amazing. Dude. He pretends to be so shocked when the music comes on, and then all his dancers like do the other choreography for the other guys.
He's such a troll. God,
he's such a dork. I love him.
He is. I love it. But yeah, everyone grows. Yeah.
Did he actually apologize for Kamyu? Oh my god.
Oh yeah. I do remember hearing something about that, but I don't remember the context about it.
But yeah, it's
I got it. Okay.
That just made me think of QNLE when they're talking about in the interview segment, they're talking about like talking to the Quartet Night guys like they're hanging out with them. I love that shit.
Yeah. I think I know one of the other things I like about the whole growth of the city within Utapri was, for me, it was definitely Shimono, especially when he like he's afraid of heights.
Oh my god! And then they always put him up
here
high.
He is,
and he still
doing
does
all
it.
this wire stuff, and I'm like, dude,
he does it.
Gets on the wires and does it, and it's like.
Yeah, the wires and then the lift, and I'm just like, dude, you are my hero.
That's like showmanship, It's like, okay, like that's when it's
he is a total pro.
Yeah, he'll do it, even though it's like
he's like, I'm scared out of my life right
now. Yeah.
But you would never guess it to watch him. This. Especially like we just watched the fifth live where he ends it's Subatewa Otani upside down in the 2.8.
That was hilarious.
And he wanted to be upside down. He was like, yeah, let's end it that way so that he could be lifted up, still like looking down at the fans and waving at them. And I'm like, dude, cute. You are actually insane.
I even love how they mentioned that in one of the MCs talking like, hey, can someone make a strap of that? And I'm like, yes, please make a strap of that because that would be amazing. And and the channel just opened to just put out a new video, and it's Ramaru now.
Okay, well, I think that's our cue.
I think so.
To bounce, but
especially since I'm yawning my ass off here.
I know I haven't eaten anything for dinner. I've eaten snacks, so I'm gonna try to eat a Hot Pocket.
And then there's me being the whole night owl thing. I
wish.
Again, I just want to say thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, this was fun.
Well, you're welcome back anytime.
I can't believe my first podcast was for Utapri.
Is that a good thing?
God, I love this series.
You're welcome back anytime. Like I said,
I mean, I'll just sit here and talk Seiyu all night.
Maybe for another episode. When we do an episode on Mamo, I'll have you back.
Oh yeah.
Oh boy.
I will be happy to be there.
She's gonna have an essay and a PowerPoint.
I mean, I'm down
she'll
for
probably
that.
make her own YouTube video. I don't know.
I can talk about the Seiyu forever as well. Links are in the description. I'm gonna start adding the other links starting next episode, and I'll go back and edit these. But thank you guys for watching and being here live, but also for watching the VODs after they post. I really appreciate it. I hope they don't take this one down because I showed Twitter pages and shit.
It'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm sure it's fine.
We'll see. But I hope you guys have a safe, fun April Fool's Day tomorrow. Don't do anything crazy. And yeah. Thank you guys for joining once again. Thank you, Mimi, for gathering all that info for me about the April Fool's stuff. And if you guys are ever interested, you can always DM me on Discord if you have me on Discord, or on Twitter. And I also have a lot of other Utapri videos on my channel. Just scroll down, you'll find them. Like I said, all the Shining Live shit that I used to do still on my channel. And I also make TikToks. I have a TikTok page, so you can check those out as well. And yeah, if you guys have any ideas for future episodes, put them in the comments below in the VOD. And I will try to get all that stuff planned. I have lots of ideas.
Because there's plenty to talk about.
It's just a lot to execute. But thank you guys once again. Have fun. Stay safe. We'll see you guys in the next episode in 2 weeks. Okay?
Night.
Bye.